Good day, degenerates, and welcome to the NotACult podcast, where each episode I am joined by my three associates, now two, and we discuss carefully curated topics ranging from gaming news to deep philosophical questions, among other truly degenerate topics. Every week, Retro, Vin, Craze, and I'm Degradation by the way, each present a topic to discuss among each other, with a live audience coming in every now and then. That's it. Enjoy! And this time I actually checked. We are actually unmuted. How do you guys feel about that? People can hear you.
Finally.
It's good to have a voice, finally.
Yeah,
Right.
man. You got shit to say.
I just learned to talk last week, so I'm using that a lot now.
Can I say that you're doing quite well for somebody that's only been speaking for a week?
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I'm the
I've been
same.
doing like internet courses on that.
Of course. Nice.
Finally, the white man unmutes me. I no longer feel like I'm being
God
silenced.
damn it. God damn it. Don't paint me like a slave owner every podcast, man. Right. So, guys, how's your week been? Retro, how you doing?
Last week of freedom. On the 7th, I officially start school.
Oh no.
I did schedule myself in a way that I could stream every night, but I'm debating on to do 2 nights during the week or 3. About it. And as you can see, Craze here lost his color, so therefore he lost his voice as well.
Right.
Black and white Craze does not know how to speak, so he'll be silent for the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, for people
So
not
sad.
not aware, for some reason Craze is completely still in the live image, and all of the color has been drained out of his face. Pretty sure that means he's dead, right, Finn?
Yeah, I've heard actually that this right here is a stuntman, and
Oh.
he's right now doing a masterclass on TikTok for a billion people in Australia.
1 billion people in
billion
Australia.
people.
1 billion
Yeah.
Australians, or
No, a billion. No Australians actually.
oh wait,
No Australians are there. Yeah,
Very
none.
strange.
0. They made it non-Australian only event. And
as they should.
yeah,
While
Yeah.
hosting from Australia.
yes, yes.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what I heard. This is actually a stuntman. I actually picture Craze like Jackie Chan. He would do his own stunts, but maybe I was wrong.
I
How
heard
about
something
you, Bench?
different. I heard something different about why Craze is the way he is right now, but it doesn't necessarily like it. He could also still be a stuntman, but I've also heard that he has joined the Russian mafia,
Ooh.
and as like a how do you call it when you have to get into a fraternity? How do you call it?
Alpha Omega, like you're like a
No, you
a
have to do
freshman,
like a
something like
test to get in. What's it called again?
yeah.
There's a word for it.
Fracking? No, it's not fracking. What the fuck? That's the whole.
Anyway,
definition.
he needs to stay perfectly still.
that. He need to prove his worth to
For-
the mafia.
Yeah, for 6 days. He needs to until the next podcast. In fact, that's I don't know why they think this is important, but that's what's happening basically.
At
Retro?
least he didn't get the Limp Biscuit cookie.
Yeah, he's lucky.
Anyway,
Man,
Finn, have you been doing fun stuff this week or no? Or non-fun stuff?
Yes, I have been doing a lot of fun stuff this week, like working. I love working,
Beautiful.
and yeah, I love working extra time.
Oh,
My
great.
boss, the bosses are going crazy with this one trick. Yeah, and
They don't want.
Working
They
a
do
lot.
not want you to find out this trick.
work a lot.
I heard actually Vin has a second job. He now works at Final Fantasy 14 as well.
Oh yeah, I've got a second job, my dude. I've
Oh,
been
shit.
fishing all night long on Final Fantasy 14, and it's
Dude.
amazing. It's amazing. It's the first game that I've played like an MMO where you can get like 8 people with you and sail on a boat and start fishing for like 15 minutes together. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's the experience I was looking for in a game.
I've heard about
gets
your
more realistic.
I've heard
more
about your
realistic
passion for
gaming every
fishing in
year.
games. It's beautiful. Does it
Hey,
stem from
I
your
do
World of
this-
Warcraft days or?
Yeah. It's actually from ever since I learned how to fish on any game. The thing is, and that's one thing that I've been talking with a friend of mine. As long as the game is not about fishing, the fishing becomes even better. You know.
Terraria, I used to
Right.
fish a lot, and Stardew Valley. I fished
Yeah.
a lot.
All right.
Oh,
So,
retro. You need to enter. You need to enter in contact with Danny because she hates fishing in Stardew Valley.
Oh, that's all I
So
do.
yeah. So
Like,
then you will be great best friends in that fucking game.
yeah, I need
perfect.
to look it up.
All right, guys. So these people are maniacs. So my week, also lots of working. Oh god damn, that's so interesting for the podcast. But also I've been drinking a lot, so
Hmm,
which is also
that's good.
something I've never said before on the podcast. I'm not an alcoholic.
Coping mechanism.
But my dad used to have this very shitty joke. He says, "I don't have a problem with alcohol because I have plenty," and that just resonates with my soul.
That's probably universal. That's
It-
probably
Yeah.
universal.
Probably, right? Yeah,
I
it's
can hear
gotta
one
be.
of my uncles or my dad saying something like that.
It's an uncle slash dad joke, definitely. But I feel it. I feel it. I have
Do
plenty.
you guys
Or
have something like when you're a kid and you go to your father and he's drinking and you go like, Dad, why you're drinking? And he answers something like, oh, because if it was solid I would be eating or something like that. Do you
God
guys have a
damn it!
saying like
Oh,
that?
holy shit.
oh, that made me a little bit.
Yo,
That made me puke in my mouth just a tiny bit.
Dude, that's a very uncle joke, dude.
is
That's
your
a
father a
very
Redditor or something? Holy shit. He must be on Reddit all day.
If
yeah,
only they
Brazil is
knew.
probably on Reddit.
Brazil is Reddit, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, don't go to Brazilian Reddit. It's a trap.
All right, guys. Let's cut the cake, as they say, with the first topic. I wanted to talk about something, and I feel very passionate about this because I am not a very empathetic person. If I see a commercial on TV and everybody in the Philippines is currently dying of hunger, my first thought will be, well, I don't know them, and I could say that I care, and some people do, but I don't have. I feel like humans don't have the basic, how do you say, empathetic ability to care someone they cannot visualize. I feel very strongly about that. I care about the people around me. As soon as you enter my life, if a new chatter comes in on Twitch, suddenly I care about them. Before that, they're dead to me, literally.
I see.
So last week there was this whole a day off Twitch thing. Did you
Yeah, I
catch
saw
that?
that.
It's about the
I
hate
saw
rage.
that.
It's about the hate raids. They wanted to crack down on it a little bit, and so they asked all creators and viewers to take a day off Twitch to send a message to Twitch. First of all, very stupid idea. It's never gonna work. Twitch doesn't give a shit. They probably still made money. They probably made more money because all the small creators that cost them money didn't stream for a day. But also, I saw many messages saying, if you don't do this, you're a fucking monster. You can't care about this and not participate. Luckily, I only saw that after I ended my stream on that very day. So I didn't have to deal with the guilt either. But every single day I see some kind of good cause, and I'm supposed to care about that. There's people like you've got the more important subjects like Black Lives Matters, slavery in Brazil is something I heard last week on this podcast, stuff like that, and everybody joins the bandwagon without information. Like last week, 3 people came to my door asking money for a great assortment of great causes that, sorry, I just can't care about everything. But still I'm being guilt tripped into needing to care about everything. It doesn't work on me though, so that's fine. What is your guys' opinion on this whole phenomenon of everything's a good cause, you need to care about everything, and if you say you don't, you're a fucking garbage human.
I have a
You
lot to
know,
say on that and my personal experience, but go first, Bracho, because I feel like I'm having a lot
yeah.
to say on that.
Cool.
I mean, slacktivism I think, was the term that originally came up on the internet. Where people were
Slacktivism, I
first
like that.
Yeah, because you're not doing shit. You're putting BLM on your profile,
Right,
and you think you solve Black Lives Matter. No, just because you're a white person that put BLM on you're not doing shit. The cops are still shooting us.
right,
Everything. So it's just basically doing the bare minimum. Like, oh, you should at least tweet this. Or if it's like a cause, like in DR, right? They put up like a green thing on your profile. So you, if this is my photo right now, put a green filter instead of all this
oh
redness
shit,
behind
yeah,
me,
we had
and
something
you're
like that.
supporting,
Yeah,
yeah, and you're supporting the anti-abortion clause in DR, or their woman's right to abort. Which, yeah,
right,
fight for the right, but Twitter is not the thing. You need to hit the streets for everything. If you're tweeting left and forward, back and forth about everything, or Black Lives Matter, or gender rights,
right,
or women's rights, yeah, it's cool, but we already learned from the internet. People are stuck in their ways. You're not gonna convince somebody on social media to change their standard or
right,
whatever. If you are anti-abortion, my tweet say no, you should support women's right to do what they want with their body because this, that, and the next. Sorry, call a spade a spade. A Trump supporter is gonna read it. He's not gonna fucking change his mind. That's it.
right.
He's
But
already set on his way. He's pro-life.
yeah,
That's all he's gonna do. You actually have to find different ways. Tweet about it. Tweet like, okay, we need a bomb. We're gonna organize here. We're gonna do a peaceful protest here. For that reason, yeah, use social media to get people to the event. But just to say it in the air in social media, you're not doing shit. It might as well not even tweet.
right, yeah.
It
But
gives you
but
the same
also, it's
results.
it's like you can't care that much about everything. So
It's impossible.
yeah, if you want to go super hard on Black Lives Matter, for instance, I don't know why I keep bringing that up. I just feel like that's a fresh one.
Mhm.
Uh, that's all right. Go super hard on it, but you can't go hard on that and women's rights and gender equality and wage gaps and everything, and then call people out that don't care about your specific cause. Like I grew up with zero black people around me. I do not have the information. Like the first black person I met was when I was 19 or something. I'm not
Mhm.
saying that they don't deserve rights. I just don't know them. So I am more inclined to like care about nature. That's my thing. I'm not going to care about nature and all of the other stuff. Even though I think it's a great cause and I'm not going to give you shit about it. Don't come to me and say that I don't care enough. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have a limited capacity for that.
I get that. Yeah, and knowing that you can embrace everything is something that I struggle for my whole life. To be honest, is that I'm easily, as you said, the guilt trip doesn't work with you. It always works with me. I'm
Right.
an easy target for these kind of people, and one thing that I've been learning for the past years doing therapy and understanding myself as well is that everyone has limited power, and most importantly, not every cause is your cause to be fought to fight. I can support trans people, I can support black people, I can support like the nature causes and everything,
Right.
but I can't
Live for
do
them.
active work for all of them,
Right.
because I don't know how trans people feel. I don't know what their struggles are. I don't know like what it's like to be a black person in the North America. I know how it is to be in Brazil, but I don't know how it is to people in the US. I don't know how it is to be black in Europe. How is it to be black in Japan, for example? I don't know shit about that. So I can't support these causes. I can't tell you like, oh, the Japanese people are racist because I don't know them. I never
Right.
been there. I never spoke to them. I don't know how are their approach. I know there's some problem like with people from abroad, but it's it's their thing to solve because there's people there that should solve that by themselves. I can't say like, oh, I wish you good luck, and I can support you like saying sending good energies,
Right.
but nothing much more than that because the money I'm, let's say for a personal reason, I'm just like you, Dag. I care a lot about the environment. So the
Right.
money, the effort, like going out and spreading information, talking about the misuse of water or plastic. This is where I'm concentrated at. That's what I find that's the most important thing for me. So that's how I spend my money, that's how I spend my energy. It
You're
doesn't mean that I
completely right.
it
You're
doesn't mean
completely
that I
right.
don't care, like, for women, for example. I know the women should fight against the oppressive powers that hinder them from like aborting or doing whatever they want to do. And I totally back that, but it's not my place to be like actively saying what these women should or should not do.
Right.
It's their thing to fight against that.
There's a good point in chat here. First time chatter Iggy says, you don't have to join a cause or talk about it to recognize when shit's fucked up. And I think that's a
Yeah.
very good point. You can
Yeah.
somewhat care, recognize, or appreciate a cause without having to go along with everything that concerns it. Like I said, Black Lives Matter. I think that's very important, but I have
The
other
thing
battles
is,
to fight.
You know
well,
what I try? You
something
know,
that we haven't brought up, like if you take every fucking issue into consideration, you would not have time for anything.
you won't
Like
live.
you're
Yeah.
gonna spread
Right.
yourself too thin. Like this is expression in Spanish, like que mucho abarca poco agarra, some shit like if you try to grab everything at once, it's gonna slip from your hands. You're
Hmm.
not gonna be able to hold everything at once.
Yeah,
So if
definitely.
you're really passionate about one, two, three topics, whatever,
Go for it.
let's say you're a female and you're going for your female rights, you're a feminist. Yeah, concentrate hard on that to make a difference there. You could care what's happening in the BLM community or the LGBT community, but
Right.
just because you're not also sending tweets out about those two other causes doesn't mean you're a bad person. You're actually trying to make a real difference when it comes to feminism, and that's how you have more potential to make a difference concentrating on one cause and giving all the good information on that one
Definitely,
cause
it's a
or
lot more
making the
valuable too.
events and whatnot. But if you're like, oh no, this, that, and you in your profile bio is everything that's happening wrong with the world, you're not doing shit. You're just virtual signaling, like we call it in the States. Like, oh look, I'm one of the good guys because I say BLM. But at the same time, once I see Retro who needs a job, I'm still gonna hire Steve because Steve is a white boy.
Right, right,
So
right.
fuck out of here.
It's
So there's one thing that I do when it comes to the other causes that I'm not like personally involved, or I don't fit the people that, like, let's say women's rights, let's say Black Lives Matter, because it's different here. But one thing that I do, for example, is having zero tolerance for racism in my personal social circles,
yeah,
or like when a friend of mine is being an asshole with some women. I call them out. That's my way of doing something, because I don't want to. Not even want. I can't speak for the women. I can't speak for the black people. I can't do that. It's beyond my capabilities. I have no living experience of what they go through. You know, so that's what I do. When a friend of mine like
and that's
honks
enough.
the
I feel
the
like
the, the car with for a woman that's passing on the streets, I tell him, dude, you're a fucking loser. Stop doing that.
yeah, and you're
I
helping
say
your friend too.
anybody here, like most of my relationships, I think except one, started on the internet. Most of them. My
I'm not
first
surprised.
girlfriend, boom, we met on AOL chat back in the
Me,
day.
Oh shit,
Dag.
your
So
age is showing. Your boomer's showing.
yeah, I'm boomer.
What's up,
So
Finn?
like most of mine has been
Oh
on
me,
this. So
yeah.
I've never seen a dude holler at a chick in the streets and it actually working.
Yeah.
So why is this still happening? I've never seen a guy walk up to a girl and say, "Hey, that ass is so fat. I need that on my face. Let me get your number."
That's smooth
And
though.
then the dude walking out with the number. Never seen it happening. So why
It's
the fuck
usually
is this
Ac-
still going
bros
on?
among
if you
bros. I feel like just you're out with the guys, and then you're basically putting your dick on the table, seeing who has the longest dick.
if it were not for the safety reasons, I would say what would happen if you like there's a construction site and this guy whistles for some women walking on the street, and what if she answers and say something like, "You want this? You want some
They
of
did it.
this?"
They done
Yeah,
it.
I
They've
mean,
done it. They've done YouTube
it's
videos.
dangerous for their safety, because you don't know what the guy might do. But
Yeah.
I feel like they would froze in place. They would be like,
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yes.
Different YouTubers have done it. They, recorded it secretly. They get intimidated. And even
Mhm.
in Sex
They're
in the
not
City
looking for
back
a
then, there
strong woman.
was yeah, in Sex in the City back then, like the lawyer bitch, she did that as well. Like, oh, so you want let's go fuck right now. I live 2 blocks from here. You said you
Let's
was gonna
go.
let's go fuck, and they just no, you're
Honestly, I
crazy,
would.
lady,
My
you're
butt
crazy.
would be fully clenched immediately. I wouldn't. I am one of those pussies, but I recognize that, so I don't whistle at women. Also, I'm like
It's
permanently in a
never good.
relationship always, so that helps also. But
Yeah, we're serial monogamous.
yeah, it's a fucking curse, man. But yeah, the thing that sparked this for me was the a day off Twitch thing, and just seeing, because now I was never active on Twitter before I started streaming, and now I follow a lot of small streamers as well as podcast people, stuff like that, and at least a lot of people active on Twitch. And I saw the fucking religious seal. They were like, "Yeah, this is your platform, so you need to." First of all, I don't think taking a day off Twitch is gonna solve anything. Second of all, Wednesday is fucking my stream day. I stream for me. I fucking love that shit. I'm not gonna take a bullet for this, so to speak. And then
And that
they
we're not big enough to make a difference. Like
we
if
don't
it
make a
was your
difference.
Ludwigs, your Charlies, your
Yeah, if you got
Amarants,
some
the
big
big
names,
people, yeah.
yeah.
But
There's
me
one
with
more thing.
5 viewers is not gonna make a dent on Twitch.
Like I said, you're putting more of a dent in Twitch by streaming, because the server space you're taking up is way more expensive than whatever you're bringing in
There's one
for
more
all of
thing
us.
as well. Uh, Currently, in my opinion, we're facing like a pandemics of unemployment. So there's a lot of people going for uh, different kinds of jobs, and one of these options is being a streamer.
Yeah,
That's
Mhm.
probably some people's only option to bring food to the table. And when you say something
even if
like,
it's
"Oh
just a
yeah,
little.
yeah," even if it's just like bare minimum, and when you say something like, "Yeah, you shouldn't be on Twitch this day because you're not sticking to the cause," this person might not even have the option to do that. These 30-40 bucks that he's gonna make that day, or even maybe a lot
Might be a
less than
lot,
that,
yeah.
$5, yeah, $5 that he's gonna make that day, it's probably what's gonna allow him to buy like lunch, pay some bills, something like that.
As for me, I
So
want to keep up my consistency and grow. I want to make this my job at some point if I can. And taking a day
yeah.
off just has pretty big repercussions for
Yeah,
me
I
personally.
I know a lot of people like No Hands Netto. There's a lot of people that I follow here that streaming is their fucking job. That's what pays the bills in the end of the month. So you don't come to a person and say something like, "Quit your job. Jobs are bad for people. Quit your job." You can't do that.
There's always rich people saying some shit like that. Like, oh, if
Yeah.
you don't love the job that you're in, just leave it and do something you love, and then you will never work a day in your life. Yeah, bitch, because your father gave you a credit card with $10,000 to spend monthly, so you could do you. I can't.
Yeah.
I'll be homeless in a fucking week.
Yeah.
I already feel homeless, honestly, but that's another thing. I think we're
So,
due for
going since White Knight, I think we could transfer how you say segue nicely into
segue,
his
yeah.
Twitch dying. So
Hmm.
Twitch, from that stupid perspective, they haven't done
R-
nothing. That's the whole
Right,
problem. They
yeah.
know these are going on. You have no measures in a multi-million-dollar company that you could stop hate rates or ban all those accounts or have a QA team review that me, Retro, was not streaming on Thursday night, but I come back to stream on Friday and oh shit, I'm banned. Why? Because people were talking while I was offline. How the fuck does that make sense? You could easily see Retro offline, hate
Right.
happening while he's offline. We don't ban Retro. We look
Also,
at this chat. Everybody that did something wrong, you permaban them.
I have
That's all you
heard that
gotta do.
that is like just not true.
And also, people, there's been a lot of talks, and I've heard it from the higher people like Ludwig. We bring him up a lot, whatever. But he said in his podcast a couple days ago that he hinted at info of a lot of Twitch streamers going to YouTube,
Dude,
and
don't plug
YouTube
other
is
podcasts. We need the viewership.
and YouTube is actually seeking out some Twitch streamers and giving them contracts, kind of like what Mixer tried to pull back in the day. So there's a lot of people that may be tempted with this whole hate raid and all of this shit happening to just fucking go to YouTube now. And if YouTube becomes a bigger platform, I'm not married to Twitch. I'll go to YouTube as well. Fuck it.
Yeah, I just have to restart my growth, but other than that,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's
whatever.
one thing. We saw the same thing when Facebook released Facebook Gaming, and it kind of hit a little bit on Twitch side. There's a lot of big streamers here from Brazil that went to Facebook Gaming, even for less viewers, but they had like more engagement there. They had more like a very intense fan base on Facebook Gaming. The interaction was a lot more closer, and they don't even have like moderation for messages as we need here in Twitch. The rating systems, all that kind of stuff that makes
Mhm.
Twitch. If
Right?
Twitch loses that, they're losing people to other companies. That's for sure. But I don't think Twitch is dying. I don't think they're dying. I feel like
It-
they're still the same health.
Yeah.
But they should be concerned about the future of the platform, because Twitch has been a problem for some content creators because we have like no discovery algorithm. We have like it's really difficult to grow only with Twitch. You have
Yeah.
yeah.
like you have a symbiotic relationship with other platforms, and these platforms like YouTube, like Facebook, like Instagram, they're growing for live streaming as well. So Twitch is becoming something like Snapchat.
Oh no.
So I mean, they're stealing what's like, just like Instagram did with Snapchat, and they stole what Snapchat
Right. Yeah.
does,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and then you're like your whole experience is inside Instagram, so you don't need to go to another app to do
Platform.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Twitch is in the danger of becoming the same thing, because
Yo,
I'm on Facebook, I'm seeing my boomer memes, and then I can see like my friend Degradation playing Euro Truck Simulator 2, so I don't need to go to Twitch anymore.
Yeah. It makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? You use Telegram, Ben. You saw the
Yeah.
update that we could now stream on
Yeah.
Telegram.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can you can create like a channel and stream just like here,
Yep. On Telegram. So
on
yeah,
Telegram.
Though
Yeah.
I've
it's
always
gonna be a
seen,
lot of options.
and that's what some of these other platforms are missing. I've always seen Twitch as the. All right, a little bit of backstory. I have never seen a Twitch streamer live before I pressed go live for the first time. I was not on Twitch because for me
Mhm.
it was always this very a little bit like a Reddit. It's a very, you have to get into it. You have to be just that little bit more uh, 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 into really supporting creators or really into a certain game because YouTube has everything, right? But you want that
Yeah.
Yeah.
interaction. You want to go a little bit deeper. Uh, so Twitch being hard to discover, having no discoverability on Twitch, I think that's for Twitch as a platform, that is almost a benefit for them because they fill that role instead of like I don't want to watch streams on Facebook because those fucking boomer memes are there. Because my entire family can see that I am in a live stream there. Um, Same for Instagram, but mostly YouTube is a different story. I think YouTube is the closest to that concept, but Twitch is Twitch, and it's still Twitch. Nothing does quite what Twitch does, in
For
my
now.
opinion. Yeah, for now. For now,
Those
right.
guys.
Well, there's another point too that Twitch is the bad guy because Twitch is the only one that won't let you multi-stream. You're actually at a disadvantage. I was looking at this video some months ago of this
Oh,
dude saying like, "Don't go for the affiliate program," and he explained why. And he said, "Look, you could simultaneously stream on YouTube and Facebook and all the other little things are there because they don't have that contract. The only streaming platform that has a contract that you can stream on Twitch and anything else at the same time is Twitch. So not only are you have to hustle for your viewership, they don't have anything like, oh, this is a
Yeah.
small streamer day on Fridays. We're only gonna promote people that are not partners. These are affiliates trying to look partner.
They
Check them
give
out.
nothing back, right?
Nothing. So we have to hustle for our own people in Instagram, Facebook, whatever, however you market yourself, and then bring them here. And then
yeah.
here, you're stuck here. You can't go to Facebook
This is the
or go to
final
YouTube.
destination, definitely. Yeah.
So
I mean, you can
yeah,
put
just the
some links
contract
on your
alone.
profile, but that's not helping anybody. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
It's yeah, but like I said, it could be a strength as well because nobody else does that. This is the
Yeah.
only of all of the services that is just streaming and nothing else. I mean, there's VODs, but nobody cares about that. Um,
Actually, people do. Do you go and check back? Like sometimes I go back and I'm like, holy shit, I
yeah,
got 40 views on a VOD, but that VOD
that's
while it
true.
was
Yeah,
live, I had one viewer. I'm like, who are these creepy people that
honestly,
want to see me after the fact?
it might be better to just turn off VODs and point them to YouTube where they can actually where you actually have a benefit of them watching it. But I am one of those viewers for you because usually at least skim through all of your streams. You didn't know this about me, or I just
There's still content, right? Yeah, once
yeah,
again.
I
Oh my god.
I yeah, of course. I'm not gonna think of things myself. I got retro for that.
I do
But
know,
yeah,
like, two
I'm
people
one of
have
those
told me,
guys.
like, I watch your VOD because of the time zone thing. Like,
Yeah,
there's
you
this dude
always
I
stream when I
follow.
sleep,
Yeah,
so I can't catch him.
exactly.
I know I don't. I'm not
I don't.
supporting you in
Stop
this way,
sleeping, dude.
but
Stop sleeping.
I'm sorry.
Right?
Yeah, people tell this to me all the time. I think
Just
we're due for a little bit of a new topic. What do you guys say?
Yeah, I just
too
want to
close to.
answer one of
Yeah,
the chat messages where
yeah.
Joker asked,
I'm sorry, you
"Why
can't.
is Craze
Sorry, no, you
frozen?"
you don't have this power.
Oh, sorry.
Oh shit!
Right now, you
You're
may
being
do it.
censored again.
You may do it now.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
Just wait your fucking turn, man.
Oh, sorry, dude. Sorry. I'm a little bit like premature, you know.
In
That's what
everything
the
you
girls.
do.
That's what the girls say.
All right, go
But
for it,
yeah,
man.
why is Craze frozen? Yeah, that's not Craze actually, right? That's his stuntman, or maybe that's actually him, or maybe that's his mafia stuntman. You need to check that on the episode release on other platforms like Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, and pretty much everywhere else that you can listen to a podcast.
God damn it, that was so
And
fucking
yeah,
smooth, man.
thank you.
Yeah, nice plug, nice plug.
Going live this Thursday, people. For people that listening to this on Thursday, sorry for wasting your goddamn time, but
Yeah.
all right, next topic. Wait, which one? I was thinking about Vin. No, wait, yeah, Finn. You wanted to talk about gamer nostalgia, and that's something
Oh yeah.
I have a lot to say about as well. But take it
Yeah.
away.
Nostalgia has been killing all of us, you know. The doctors are going crazy with this one trick. Yeah. So the thing is, recently, this came to my mind recently because Blizzard is releasing classic servers for World of Warcraft, and that was insane in my opinion because we got the classic servers maybe 1 or 2 years ago. I don't remember correctly, and it was a huge discussion what would happen after the classic server because they released like 1.0 and then
Right.
they started releasing tiny patches so you would get the whole classic experience, you know, from 1.0 to the late last dungeon, which was I think Naxxramas or something like that.
Right.
So that's a long journey for you to do that.
How long ago was the first like classic server released? That's not that long ago, I think.
No, it was like 1 or 2 years or something like that. And then they started discussing um, what is going to happen. Is classic stuck on time? Is people going for the next expansion, the Burning Crusade? And that's what happened. They released the Burning Crusade, but they would let you keep like a character on classic server. There was a lot of problems there
Hmm.
because you would need to pay if you want to change your character to the Burning Crusade later and stuff like this. So, and the Burning Crusade release was like a little bit floppy, you know. People were like, "Oh, this is not what we were expecting." Some people wanted to be on Classic, and now they're
Right.
releasing the Classic server 1.0, so you can have the whole experience again. And I was like, "Dude, we're stuck in the Groundhog Day here. You know,
That's
we're
it.
gonna
Yeah.
be living the same classic experience again and again and again and again. And I mean, classic is fucking cool. I love it. You know, it's when World of Warcraft was a lot about the social aspect. It was actually an MMO, and now uh, they're going for this again. So we're trapped inside this nostalgia thing. We're trapped inside wanting to relive the good old days. You know, and I was thinking maybe games are doing this for ages now. We're seeing a lot of
Right.
remakes. We're seeing a lot of remasters. Some of them are not even that old. I feel like, let's say, The Last of Us released a remastered version for the PS5. I think PS4.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
PS4, and it was like 1 or 2 years old. That's insanity for me. You know, we're getting nostalgia from new things already. So, what you guys think about that?
I mean, in the case of The Last of Us, I get it. They wanted to get and grab the money for the PS5 people as well. Makes sense. And they're probably not going to change a lot, so it's an easy money grab. So financially, I totally get it. But then it has been fucking rampant, and I feel like it maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, it kind of started with the Resident Evil 2 remake. I think that was one of the first ones where then suddenly it was remake city everywhere. I mean, they've been doing remakes for forever, of course, but this current period,
Yeah, the first one was already a blast when they re-released it.
yeah, but it didn't have the hype behind it yet.
Yeah,
And
the second one was just a masterpiece. Yeah.
and I feel like then suddenly all the companies were like, all right, there's a lot of cash to be made here if you do it well, like if you build it from ground up, give a slightly different experience, which I think is a very good development. Very different from World of Warcraft just releasing the exact same game. They released 2 times already.
Yeah.
But then
You know
again,
what?
yeah,
Yeah,
apparently there's
that's
a lot
what
of money behind it.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna bring up. To me, like if you're doing a remaster like Final Fantasy VII, I have it downloaded, haven't seen, but I've seen the gameplay. Yeah, it's something totally new. The fighting system is new. You're still
Mm-hmm.
bringing the same old story that people are nostalgic about. That great.
Exactly.
Resident Evil being remade, great. My problem is when you just port the same thing to a different system, like Skyrim being available on your Texas Instruments fucking calculator now at this point. So that's the only thing I have a problem with. Like, okay, cool. Chrono Trigger is dope. I haven't finished it. It's one of the games on my list. But if you just come and try to sell it to me now on the Nintendo Switch with $20, you didn't do shit. All you did was port it from, I guess the last version was the Game Boy Advance version.
Right.
Throw in the Switch and throw me 20
Nintendo
bucks.
DS. Nintendo
Yeah.
3DS.
All right. So Nintendo 3DS to the Switch, and I got to pay you $20 for it. That I'm weird about. Like, why
But
are you doing this?
in
But
this
if it's a
case,
remake, I have no problem with it.
right. In this case, it's just supply and demand, basically. If people don't want it, money's gonna dry up real quick, and they're gonna stop doing it. But
Yeah.
what is clear is people do fucking want it because they keep doing it. It's endless remakes these days. Pokemon is also doing a new remake of Diamond and Pearl, I think I just heard about. But they've been doing that shit for ages, just reselling, repackaging the same shit.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
but
Pokemon does not. Pokemon in sports games is the same shit. It is the same fucking game with new Pokemon.
yeah,
Battle eight gym
it's
leaders,
already
and
a
you go
remake
through
of a
this and
remake
blah,
of a remake. But in this case, it's an
Yeah.
actual remake of like the third remake of the first game. But
Yeah, the remakes I normally avoid, but let's say the jump they did between the one I think was Black and White and
Mhm.
X and Y, that was a big jump because they got
the 3D, right?
the freely
blah.
movement. You
Mhm.
know, the game kind of got a lot better, but then they released the remake. I forgot the name right now. I think was I fuck that. I don't remember the name, but I felt like the same experience that I
All of
had
the
with
names
X
are
and
the
Y.
same as well. All the names
Yeah,
are
it's
remakes
always
too.
like a crystal, a fruit, or something like that. So,
Pokemon
um,
Pear and Apple. Let's go.
yeah,
Oh, wait for Pokemon apples and oranges.
Oh,
yeah,
dude, that shit's gonna be polarizing as shit. But on the other hand, as a person that is old as fuck at this point, I can't help but be swept away with that. We've all played. I don't know if Finn played it actually, but the Diablo 2 Resurrected. remake.
I didn't. I
I
didn't.
did. I did. That was the week that Blizzard behaved, and oh, these people got fired and everything, and then
Very
released a
smart
beta. We all
placement of
played it.
behaving.
Did you guys
Yeah.
enjoy the Diablo 2 thing?
Yeah, it was the same
Oh
game.
yeah.
It was the same game with
Yeah.
No.
shittier
I've never
graphics.
played it. I've never played it. This is my first D2 experience.
Hmm.
My only gripe coming as a D3 guy, I know I'm in the minority of the super mega fans, is the way the map works in D2 compared to D3. That's my only
No,
complaint.
no,
Like
no, but it's fucking garbage. But I'm used to it. That's the difference. That's the whole
That's
difference.
one thing that I saw, and fans are impossible to please as well because I saw articles talking about how they just ported the graphics
one
to,
question.
so it's the old game with fancy graphics, and then there's people complaining that it's not like the old game. It should have like new features. So I was like, well, you guys should make your fucking minds. You either want the old experience with new graphics or you want like a new enhanced game. You can have both at the same time, you know?
Yeah, they want the same game, but they don't want the same
Yeah.
game.
That's
Honestly,
impossible.
that's my main problem as well. I was like, yeah, this is the same game. This is the exact same game, but I preferred the shitty graphics because I'm nostalgic
Mm.
about those. But then
For
again, I
me,
replayed
is
the original like 2 months prior to the release. So
this does bring up a good thing though about remakes that we didn't consider. For example, I didn't play D2, so for
right.
me, it's not a nostalgia thing. To me, this is my first opportunity to actually
Experience
play
it.
these
Yeah.
games. And in comparison to movies, like my biggest complaint is when they release movies again. That to me is totally
Mm.
unnecessary. Or remaking the Ghostbusters, but this time it's all females, or remaking Oceans or whatever. It's just like you don't have, how many books there are out there that you could make a fucking movie about.
You don't even
Video
have
games
to
is
think of a
different because
story. It's out there.
because
This is
I
industry.
for me, I can't go back and play Final Fantasy 7 or 8 or 9 because the graphics are so fucking nauseating. Like when they try to do the whole 3D polygon thing, those games did not stand the test of time. Meanwhile, if you go to Chrono Trigger, bringing that up again, since it's pixel art, it's more stomachable.
Timeless.
So I can go and play those games.
Yeah.
Those Persona, if they remade Persona, good for me because I didn't play the original. I'm not gonna go back and play the original Persona,
Hmm.
It's really
whatever. When
difficult to find as well.
and so in that aspect, yeah, it's good because you're now making things up to speed, whatever, modernizing it for our time. But with the movie industry, I can't support it at all. Like you could watch Ghostbusters in the past and it will still hold up. It'll be a little corny. The only thing that would change is, the jokes of the time, probably some sexist shit back in the day or whatever in those movies, but that's the time,
Yeah.
you know.
Well,
But
there.
with video games, no, just leave them as is.
I have
Bring
an
them up.
unpopular opinion
Oh
towards
yeah,
that as
yeah.
well.
Do it. Yeah. I
With
love those.
superhero movies, we're watching the same story unfold again and again, especially. And I say that because Spider-Man is one of my favorite superheroes, and I'm
He's the
watching
best.
Spider-Man getting bitten by the fucking spider again and
For the
again. He was
8th
Tobey
time.
Maguire. He was the other dude there, the sexy dude,
Bring
the
back Toby
sexy Peter
Maguire. Come
Parker.
on.
Yeah, he was the new guy with the childish attitude. So I'm tired of seeing the same movie again.
Me too.
I
Yeah.
want to see. I want to see Craving. I want to see the Spider-Man facing something I never saw before. But no, they're still telling me how Spider-Man got bit by a fucking spider and how he needs to hide it from like Mary Jane or Gwen or whatever you want him to date this time, and how Doctor Octopus is back again from the second movie and it's the same actor. I don't want that. I want new experiences. But I understand because this is industry, so
Yeah.
it's a lot safer to bet on something it's gonna work.
Also, two
Oh no,
things.
with the Spidey thing in particular, it's not even that because they don't do it for any other superhero. It's just Spidey. It's a fucking Spidey contract that's so fucking complicated, and like three different fucking companies own it. Fox owns a portion, Sony owns a portion, Marvel owns a portion, and they all want to have their own Spider-Man out there. So for that one, I give him a slide because it's not really the fault of anybody. It's just corporate Hollywood America being Hollywood America and everybody wanting to see a slice of their pie.
I
It
mean,
is good though that now they put all three together, so everybody's getting fed. Hopefully, it stays this way forever, and there's Spider-Man
mhm.
multiverse or whatever, and we don't have to watch fucking Uncle Ben die for the fourth time in a row.
No, I can't handle that
Yeah.
shit, dude. I mean, the big problem is children are the money makers, and they keep pooping out children endlessly. So they just gotta
Too
keep.
many kids.
They're stuck
Yeah, right.
telling the same origin story to get that sweet child money, and that's why we are stuck in limbo. And we don't want to watch it, but we're gonna fucking watch it anyway because
Yeah, we're
we
gonna
we
do
can't
that.
help it. We can't help it. So
My
we're
dude,
just getting this.
after I saw myself watching the Dragon Ball movie, the real life Dragon
Oh
Ball
shit.
movie,
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
I know I could watch anything. Like that's it. Like
It's gonna be better, yeah.
Dragon Ball
uh,
Evolution, right? Dragon Ball
yeah.
Evolution.
After I saw
Holy
that, I don't
shit.
care no more. I could watch, I don't
Yeah.
know,
I
Batman
mean,
play
you
poker
probably
for
you
two
probably
hours, I
died.
guess.
You probably die inside watching that
Yeah,
movie. So that's why you
something.
can watch anything. You know,
Yeah,
you already
probably.
lost all hope.
I mean, what's there next? I could watch Spider-Man and Superman play chess for 2 hours, probably. Have fun.
I mean, that sounds kind of fire, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. Where's the Hollywood corporates when we need them? So
Yeah.
take notes here.
Fuck my spider senses. I better not. I better watch getting checkmated by
I
this
was gonna bring
superhuman
that
man.
up. Yeah.
Did you just blow up my chest piece with your laser eyes, Superman? What the hell? It's gonna be
Checkmate,
fucking
motherfucker.
insane. I want this movie now.
Hey, we came up with a better Marvel movie. In
I
2
dare
minutes.
you
There
to
we
move
go.
that
Gotcha.
bishop. It's made of kryptonite. I dare
Oh
you to move
shit!
Oh, shit.
it.
Who's writing this
sprinkle
down?
the queen with kryptonite, the most important piece after the king. I can't move my queen. I can't move my queen.
Move this motherfucker. I dare you.
And then in the end, he
Uh,
still wins and perseveres. And then
also
Spider-Man dies,
Superman.
but actually he's not dead. You got a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Another Tick movie. Says Craze on chat. But Tick, I never was a fan of the Tick. Did you guys were a fan of the Tick?
Dude.
Just a second. How
Ah!
how
Yeah, there's a
how
series
did
in
Craze
Amazon. On Amazon, there's a series about the tick, by the way.
how
Yeah.
did Craze type that if he's not moving for the Russian mafia?
Dude, I think he's typing with his toes.
Damn, that's commitment.
Talent, too. Yeah,
That's
he's a
coming,
talented
yeah.
man. But yeah, so did you guys not watch The Tick?
Yeah, I didn't.
No,
was-
I never watched it as a kid. Didn't watch the Amazon version. Nothing.
I think it was on Cartoon Network, and I think that's a global thing, right? We had that, and it was an American TV show. So I'm sure Retro probably... well, you didn't live
No.
in America at the time, probably, right?
No, I did until I
Oh,
was
weird.
basically an adult until 17. It never drew my attention. I was more a Nickelodeon kid. Give me Rocco's Modern Life or Football
No,
Head.
Rocco's is fucking.
Hey Arnold,
Yeah.
I
was
mean,
my
I wanted
shit.
to give you
Ah,
shit,
Real
but
Monsters.
you're giving some excellent examples, so I'm not gonna give you shit. Courage the Cowardly Dog,
Fox
though.
Kids. Fox.
Courage,
I
dude.
mean, I was Nickelodeon kid versus Cartoon Network kids. I don't know if it was a thing in your locations, but that was a thing at school. People fist fought defending Cartoon Network over
No,
Nickelodeon.
I
and
think
vice
that's
versa.
where my hipster tendencies got from. Nobody watched Cartoon Network. Everybody was Nickelodeon, or like I couldn't even talk to people that watched the cartoons I watched. But also because in the Netherlands they did not dub it into Dutch, and they did not give subtitles either. And I
What?
think to this day that's the reason why my English is pretty good. Because very early, I was like 4. I was watching American cartoons at that point.
That's a good way of teaching kids how to speak English.
Right. I'm sure I didn't understand shit at first, but
That's how
I
it
got
happens
it
with
at,
languages
eventually.
in general.
Yeah.
One thing that I like about Cartoon Network is the Grim Adventures of Billy Manziera. You know,
Oh
that's
yeah.
when they got like the very disgusting cartoons. You know, so there was a lot of like booger and this kind of stuff. I actually like that era.
Yeah. That was when I
Oh,
got
yeah.
slightly Not older, but yeah, I got older eventually. But
God damn it.
Billy
I
and
still watch
Mandy,
That's
it.
right.
Last time I got really high, I just stood in front of the TV watching Billy and Manny.
dude, I
That
do
was
that.
fucking good.
I,
That was
I
fucking good.
at a certain point they started translating the entirety of Cartoon Network into Dutch, and that's when I stopped watching because suddenly the
Mm,
same cartoons came back, but with different voice actors in a different language, and
mhm.
I couldn't get into it anymore, and that's when
Yeah,
I just
I get
ditched
Oh
it.
that.
yeah, Chad brought up two things that we didn't mention: the two underdogs, Fox Kids and WB Kids. Remember that stupid singing frog? Hello, my lady. Hello, my darling. Blah blah
That
blah blah.
that's
Yeah.
not something I had. No,
WB
Oh,
was
we
shit here. We never saw that here.
yeah
I've
we
never
had
heard of
that
that.
over here.
Fox Kids was amazing. Yeah,
I
and
like how
then
we're
here
going on a
at least it
nostalgia
became
train here after the video game shit.
yeah, it
Hey,
became something like Jetix or something like that. The name,
Yeah,
and then was bought like Disney
Fox
something.
Kids went to Jetix and then went to Nickelodeon for us.
Yeah, Jetix was the shit, dude. There was a lot
oh,
of good cartoons there. I watched a lot of it.
I
Probably,
never
but
heard
that
of
was the beginning
Jetix
of the
until
end for
now.
me. I missed Fox
Jetix, first
Kids.
time I hear of it.
Yeah, Jetix was Fox Kids, but with a different
Oh,
name, you know. And they had something. They had like very action-like cartoons there. I used to love
Yeah,
it, you know.
but
since we're
guys,
all riding this nostalgia dick, let's go everywhere. Anime. What was your first? And
Yu
what
Yu
was your first
Hakusho.
oh my
impression?
first. I
First
think
anime
I think
ever.
my first was either I think it was Fruits Basket. You guys know that?
Oh yeah, Furuba.
No,
Yeah,
Fruba.
never
It,
seen it.
it got
I
translated for you?
no, Furuba is the way people call fruits basket. You know,
Right.
Oh, okay.
Aside
because
from
furu
Dragon Ball Z was my
fruit
actual
is the
first,
best.
but I don't really count that because it felt like such an integral part of our culture that it was.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody knew that it was just on TV. But Fruits Basket is the
Yeah,
first thing I sought out. Like I didn't know anything, and I came to the most girly anime I could ever find, and I watched the shit out of that. I even
it's good. I
I've got
like that.
I've got drawings. That's when I started to want to become a comic book
Which one was
artist.
your favorite character, the cat or the rat?
The main
Yeah,
character.
dude, come
Yeah,
on.
no.
Yeah, the lady. All right. But you know, you need to choose one.
I think I was Team Rat.
I see. Yeah, I can feel that from you.
Good.
Craze told that I know about Super Campeones. Yes,
Was that?
Captain Tsubasa. Dude, I was listening to the soundtrack yesterday. You know, that's some amazing stuff because I come from the soccer land and stuff like that, and then you see some Japanese dudes drawing some anime where the guy kicks the ball and it becomes like a tiger ball, and he just the goalkeeper gets the ball and starts spinning his hand, and there's like a lot of dust and steam coming out of his hand, like
Oh.
that was amazing, dude. That was amazing. Holy shit.
I've watched some sports animes
Oh
that were
wait.
so
Before we go
fucking
all over the
fire.
place, because we went on the first anime, y'all
Oh yeah,
niggas just
shit.
going on
Fuck.
a
Sorry,
big
this is
ass
too.
rant.
I'm too passionate about
So,
this shit.
so my first anime was fucked up. I think I've never mentioned it on the podcast, but my ex stepfather had a video game store, and he was with mom for like 15 years.
This explains
And one
so
of
much.
his and one of his ventures was that he would rent VHS tapes of anime. Like he bought a bunch of fucking anime from Chinatown,
All
and
right.
he would rent them out. So I saw this anime, this box said Ninja Scroll. I'm like, oh, this shit looks dope. I don't know if anybody here knows what Ninja
No.
Scroll
I
is,
think I
but
know.
this is not anything that a
No.
12-year-old kid should be
Mhm.
watching. So I go ahead, pop Ninja Scroll in. One of my first anime memories is a titty getting chopped off, which is one of the scenes
Yep.
in Ninja Scroll, and that's how I started anime.
Everybody
And
watch
then
Ninja Scrolls. It's fucking it's fucking sick. But don't
exactly.
watch it if you're not 18. Definitely not.
And then it got worse because then there was another VHS tape called Wicked City.
I don't know.
And
I've heard of that.
one of the first scene is this lady getting raped, tied up into some shit, and then she becomes a demon and kills them all. So I'm
Oh
like,
my
so
god.
my introduction to anime was rough, and I didn't get into it right. I stopped. And then some years later, people introduced me to your Cowboy Bebops, your
The
classics, your
classics.
Evangelions, and whatnot. And then I got into it. But
All
my
right.
start was rough.
I need to jump in on this topic because some people, you guys probably know, but I I fucking love the most fucked up anime. It's glorious. I think it's probably from Evangelion that started this little quest for me to find the most, first of all, gory animes, the most dark animes. Uh, yeah, I definitely talked about this before, but I love, because I will not watch like a movie that has like gratuitous violence, as I won't enjoy it as much. But if it's an anime, it's like the perfect amount of lack of realism, and I just want to see people getting chopped up with in anime. I just fucking love that shit. So I have looked into like top 10 lists of the most fucked up anime alive. Retro just named two of them, so that's his start in anime. It's
Hey,
it's
so
something
I'd
about
say real, I'd say real experiments lane to that list. School Days and Boogie Pop Phantom.
School
I
Days
Big
was
love
is
in
fucking
there.
cool.
fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
School Days was also a fucking good anime, aside from being truly fucked up. I hope everybody's writing down notes. If you want to be scarred for life, watch all of these.
Mhm.
Guns was one of my first
Guns,
experiences as well.
yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
I was talking about Guns yesterday with a friend of mine because we used to have like an anime channel here on TV called Animax, and one of the commercials was the when Kurono gets a hard on and he's spotted by one of his classmates, and
Yeah.
the classmate goes and teacher Kurono has a hard on, and we would be watching TV and this commercial would pop and would be like, oh, changing the channel because we were kids and our parents won. Yeah, there it is. Google Photos. I was talking with them yesterday.
He just pops in the chat. He hears his name.
Yeah, he heard about that. But yeah, I was talking to him yesterday about it, and that's what happened.
Wait. I have a
Wow.
bone to pick with both
You've
degradation
got a
and
boner to
somebody
pick?
from chat. Yes, I have a boner to pick with you guys. Why the
Gotcha,
fuck do
gotcha.
you think Elfen Lied is a good anime?
Uh, my
Elfen Lied was like the first episode.
uh,
Elfen Lied is the one where
first of
it's
all,
only
sir,
one episode that's good,
it's
and it
Elven
turned
Lied.
into a
It's
fucking
Elven.
novella.
It's not Lied. It's Lied. It's German for song, Elvish song. Thank
Mm.
you very much, sir.
Well, in
There's a lot of
America, it's
German
Elfen
culture in
Lied.
anime, but that's a whole different discussion. My definitive answer is I was 13, and it was the most edgy shit I've ever seen.
But it was only one episode. Like the first episode had me hooked, and then it turned into School Days. It went School Days in reverse. Because School Days, when I was watching, it was recommended by a friend of mine. I'm like, why are you making me watch this slice of life shit? Until what happens happens, and I don't know spoilers.
It did
But
happen
Elfen
like
Lied
that.
is
You're
the
right. Yeah.
contrary. It's the contrary. It was, oh shit, this bitch, these powers, she's killing everybody, and then, oh nah, we need to
But
calm her down. She's a nice girl. What the fuck? Why?
I mean, I kind of get it though, because at first it's like the YouTube video, the classic YouTube video setup. You get all the hype shit out of the way, and then you get some boring garbage. That's the recipe, and that's like that anime in its entirety. I watched
That's
it.
the thing.
I watched it when the day I turned 18. My friend and I tried weed for the first time because I turned 18, and then we watched the entirety of Elven Lied all through the night, and we went to bed at I think 10 a.m. in the morning. Uh, all of these are like variables that made that a fucking good anime, you know. But also, um, I mean, it was an interesting story, right? How she broke out, and like it got less fucked up. Definitely, there was still some gore, but it.
For one episode. That was
I
my
wanted to
gripe with that
see.
anime. It's one of my top 10 shitty animes. It's down there, up and night.
Oh shit, dude. Also, everybody watch Corpse Party if you want to try to watch something very very sick. Um,
Fairy Tail is also in the top 10 shit anime. I don't care if I'm pissing off some weebs right now in chat.
I tried to get into
No.
that at the start. I couldn't do it. It was like
Okay.
I don't
Naruto
like him.
5.0. It was like Bleach again. It's like the
Oh, Bleach also top 10 shit
Bleach I
animes.
fucking
Oh,
love.
please.
Now you shut the fuck up, dude.
The first two seasons are good. All right.
Yeah,
Glorious.
but I don't like
Game.
that. It's like people when they say, "Oh, watch this." What's the dude's name from The Sixth Sense? Shyamalan, whatever his last name is. M Night
Yeah.
Shyamalan.
Hmm.
Like, oh yeah, watch this M Night Shyamalan movie. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, yeah, the movie's good, right? He just fucked it up at the end. Then it's not good. If something to be good, all of it has to be good. Oh shit, me and Vin were on the same screen for.
Hey,
Hey,
Ah,
kiss me,
fuck.
dude.
Yeah,
I've
crazy.
never looked this sexy. Look at that. Look at retro sugar
For
right
the
No,
now.
I'm
See, for
retro
listeners,
people,
sugar.
for the
for
listeners,
people
for
that
some
are not
reason,
live,
yeah,
yeah.
Craze just joined in, and now all the cameras are fucked up. And
All right, so while you do that, let's keep talking anime.
fill it up.
I
Dragon
had
Ball, great.
I had a lot of the exact opposite experience as you did retro with my first anime because my first anime was like Sakura Card Captors, you
Oh,
know.
Oh shit.
Yeah, fucking good. And Dragon Ball because it was everywhere here in Brazil at least. So those were my first anime on my life. And then there was like Sensei and Yu Yu Hakusho. But I had a very protected childhood when it comes
really?
to your options. No, I mean I mean like I didn't watch School Days on my first try.
Oh no, I watched School Days as an adult, and it was recommended
Oh, I
by
see.
a friend of mine, and he said, "I just," and then I'm telling him, like, "What the fuck is this? Slice of life." He's like, "Just keep watching, you'll understand." And then I was like, "Oh shit." That
J-
to me, I'll be like in top 10 shocking animes is that Boogie Pop Phantom. I know is more hipsterish,
yeah,
probably
because
not
it
a
fucks with
lot of
your
people know it.
expectations so much.
Yeah, because I love Boogie Pop Phantom for that reason. Like the whole you don't know in which timeline this episode is taking place. Like you watch episode one, they're in school. Episode two, the bitch is dead. And you're like, what? And then episode three, she's back, but she's younger. Episode four, she's an old lady. I loved it. And then
Spoiler,
it
fucking
did tie
spoilers
it.
here.
No, it's not. That's the first four episodes. And then I'm not remembering right. I'm just giving an example of how the anime works. And they did tie it together at the end very, very well.
All right, let's
Very
address the elephant in the room, and the elephant being Craze.
Holy shit, he called you fat.
I
Oh
Right
my
off the
didn't.
god.
I
rip.
just said he had a huge trunk.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna go and say right now.
I saved that real quick, guys. All right,
What did
Craze,
I
what's
miss?
up? What did you miss? Let's restart the podcast, everyone.
Yeah.
No, Craze, why were you here? Because we said a couple of things. Why were you gone? First of
We're not
all,
lying. It
Finn
actually
said you
happened.
you became a stuntman, and or no, that you've been changed in for a stuntman. I told Chad that you joined the Russian mafia. Retro, what did you say again?
I forgot. I just said
He
that
was
he.
frozen.
Something
He was
very
frozen time. He lost his collar and wasn't able. It actually worked. He lost his collar and wasn't able to talk or move. And now
wow.
he can move and he has his collar.
This is true, yeah. But what
See,
actually
Nah,
happened?
you got
Oh,
you
what-
guys weren't wrong. I mean, you guys weren't that far from the truth. I mean, to be honest,
Shit.
I was talking to Jason Statham for a little while. I had to leave my stun double. to go
Doesn't
with
surprise
Statham
me.
because I was
Yeah.
gonna be his stun double in the upcoming film. I told him no because I don't do Fast and Furious franchises. So we agreed that we're gonna do another one of I forgot what was that adrenaline movie. I forgot what it was. I told him I liked that. I just didn't remember the name. It didn't really
Oh,
stay in my head.
cranked.
Crank. Just that I would only do
Yo,
the
I
crank
love
version,
cranked.
but I gotta be the
Mhm.
one in the sex scenes. So we were trying out
Makes
the
sense.
cocaine shots right now to make sure they worked.
Nice, nice. A lot of
Yeah.
cocaine is always good for your health.
So let's
Yeah.
let's get Crazy's opinions. First of all, what is your opinion on what knighting on the internet?
Oh, white knighting? I mean, there's so much of it out there.
we're
man.
going
We can't
back,
say a word
guys.
to these females.
Strap
This
in.
is just
No,
for
this is
Craze.
yeah, this is fast. White knighting? You can't say anything to these into these insta dots out there that without one of their their Simps of the Round Table showing up.
The Sims of the Round Table, right?
Yeah, man, you gotta call it out because
Yeah, we didn't even bring that part up because we were bringing up mostly, people trying to
My
adapt every single fucking cause of the internet from BLM to LGBT, and they think they're actually making a difference when all they're doing is sending out a tweet.
Yeah,
more or
it's
less like
what is it, like associations only?
my interest or my entrance point was like last week you had a day of Twitch hashtag trending on Twitter. You remember that? Did you see that? Like the hate raids, stuff like that. They wanted to they wanted to take a day off Twitch, viewers and creators to send a message. And I'm not gonna rehash my entire opinion to not bore the entirety of the listeners.
Yeah, the
but
listeners. Yeah. All right.
At least on my part, I consulted with my mods. I consulted with, you know, should I stream? Should I not? And this was my comeback week, so I was like, well, I I support the whole fact, like, yeah, you know what, fuck these dudes, but I listened to my community. My community wanted me on, so
that's a thing we actually discussed, is that not for everybody it's like a good option. In some cases you hurt yourself more than you're gonna hurt Twitch. In most cases, in this instance.
But I am feeling it though. The hate rate stuff, I am feeling it. I don't know about you guys, if you guys have seen in the last couple stream sessions you guys had, but I've been getting these random first time chatters in my session, and the weird thing about it is, like, when they come in, they come with like only asterisks. So whatever they said either got muted or got modded.
So there is some modding going on, you'd say.
Yeah, and like in the back end. So I don't know if those people specifically are part of the hate rate stuff, but that's the only thing I find very, very odd about me streaming lately is those new viewers that come in. Some of them don't follow, some of them do, and that's why it makes it confusing to distinguish if it's a real person or it's just being a bot.
Right.
And my mods consider, yo, should I ban him? Should I ban him? I'm like, I don't know. And so what I do is I just literally just go out there and shout them out, say, hey, what's going on? Are you a bot or not? Blah, blah. And some of them respond. And that's why I know that they're real viewers. What if they don't? I just have them mute. I just have them banned. If you don't talk in 30 minutes, I ban you. That's it. That's my approach to it.
Right, in this case.
And to catch up more, do you believe that Twitch is dying?
Oh, that was actually Crazy's topic, so let's go.
Yeah. So what I'll say to that is this. The reason why I brought the topic up, I'm gonna skim right through it. A lot of the big name big name Twitch streamers out there, we're talking about like top 15, have left Twitch and signed with YouTube. We're talking about Dr. Lupo, one of the biggest names when it came to streaming, both on screen and also when it came to doing charity streams. This man would literally garner millions of dollars for charity. Some of those millions came from Twitch, that they would do donations directly to him for like the St. Jude's charity that he also buys by. We lost Tim the Tap Man, top 15 streamer. There's rumors that we might be losing Nick Merckx, one of the top 10 streamers out there, because he hasn't announced it, but he says that there's like a groundbreaking announcement he has to make, that he's gonna change his life, that he did it for his family, and that's the excuse that all the top streamers are using, and all of their announcements, that the reason that they're going to YouTube is because they got a good deal that lets them stream for less time, and that they're set for life, in like quote unquote, for them to spend more time with their family. So all these losses to Twitch have people saying, "Oh, Twitch is dying," but then other streamers are saying that this is a good move by them doing this because it's gonna make Twitch have to react, because now there's competition from YouTube Gaming.
Yeah, I heard something. You confirm if you heard the same thing, that supposedly Twitch is thinking about removing their primes.
Really? That would be a big hit, honestly. I don't think that would be...
I heard that.
Ludwig? Wow. See, if he says that, then he's gotta have some good like sources for that one, because if he's saying that, that's tough. Because those Prime subs, like, the only reason I vouch for Prime subs is because we're paying money for these fucking Prime accounts that we have in Amazon. We don't use those things to say now. We use them a lot after quarantine, but before quarantine, nobody was really going out there really buying as much on Amazon like they are now.
Right.
So those
Mhm.
Prime subs were actually really like, oh, you know what? I got this extra. Let me just use it. But if they take that away, like all YouTube has to do to take away everybody is enable gifted membership. That's one thing that YouTube Game does not do now. You can be a what quote unquote what's
They're
called a
working
sub
on
on
it, I've
Twitch.
heard, I think.
Well, that's perfect because if they do that, that's an automatic win, and that's it. Everybody goes to YouTube Game because that's the one thing that even the top streamers saying that's a lot of their income.
I mean,
And I like
yeah. I'm
like
not
I'll
sure,
use
and
my
we're gonna
example.
see, but if they take the Prime subs away, I think that would be a huge hit for especially small creators. For everybody, of
Yeah.
course, but the small creators already have so little.
Everybody. That's the only way you get paid
Mhm.
in full. Everything else, they're taking half your money.
Yeah.
And last one for Craze to be fully. Oh no, there's two more for Craze to be fully update us on his thoughts. Video game nostalgia bait. What are your thoughts of the same games getting released again and again, so people buy them again and
Are
again?
we talking about Nintendo?
No, no,
Are we talking
no.
about
No,
Nintendo?
Vin brought it
it's
up
fucking
with WoW.
everywhere, man. Diablo 2
No,
Resurrected.
bro,
We've
but
got
not like
Nintendo.
Nintendo,
We've
man.
got Resident Evil remakes. We've got everything's being remade endlessly.
See, but okay, so here's my thoughts on that one when it comes to that because Nintendo is the one is literally, not clickbaiting us. He's really, they're really
Milking it.
using the puppet skills with us. They're really milking us because those fuckers are charging us full price. The only game that I saw was like $40, was like that All Star Collection that people loved, but it was still $40. It was so much money. But then you have people like Resident Evil who released a remake, but they will charge you an arm and a leg. Give them time; they'll drop it down. But Nintendo doesn't drop prices. So these nostalgia grabs, I get it. Thank you for the Zelda remake. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. It feels great to see the game again, but it's still an old game. It's just remastered to look a little better for the time.
But
But
did
it's still the game
you
we played.
did you hear my point though? For example, me and you, we were never D2 players, so it gave us the opportunity to experience D2 this time. The same way I didn't play the Wind Waker either because I was not a fan of the Wii U or whatever the fuck that was on. So
I
I
played the shit
would
out of
buy
it.
it now to buy on the Switch. So in that regard, they have, I think, a point of doing it. All these kids that didn't play Final Fantasy VII with the polygon graphics now get to experience the same story in a more modern, but more better way.
Like
Like
that.
the
That
point that I brought up
Better,
is I just don't
better.
like
I
straight
don't know.
ports.
True. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I agree with you on that. I do like the fact that they do bring back those nostalgia graphics, like Final Fantasy VII with those graphics. Wow, chef's kiss. I loved it. It looked amazing.
I
And
still
I
need
was
to
one of the
play it,
people
but
who
I'm
was
waiting for
playing.
the next one to come out personally.
Yeah, that's the real cash grab. What they're gonna do with that?
Oh
Like
yeah.
back in the day, we
Bring
had
it out twice.
three
Fuck
discs,
it.
three discs for a whole collection for the one game. Mind you, I was one of the dumbasses who never had a memory card and went through the first whole game with no memory card, and then noticed that you had to have that to order to go to the second disc.
Oh
Like
dude.
fuck you, I'm not doing that because my dad didn't want to pay it.
Dude.
But now what they're gonna do is charge you full price for every single one of those instances.
And I'm gonna
That's
pay it happily.
wow.
So
That's
smart.
I mean, but for the D2 stuff, yeah, it's true, retro. We didn't have that D2 experience. I had fun playing with you guys. Will I buy it? You know I
I don't
am
know
because
yet.
it's because I will because it's
Mr.
all
Blizzard.
about the vibes with with the multiplayer with you guys. But if it was by myself, I wouldn't buy it because if I go for reviews, people are complaining about it, saying that the system they have right now it sucks. Like they should have changed this, so they added that. I don't get it. So
It's a blast from the past, but whatever. We talked about this already too. Let's keep it moving. Keep it moving.
And last topic, so we're up to date with Craze. First anime.
First anime. Yeah, that's a good one. I want to hear that from Craze. Mr. Anime.
in Dominican Republic. That's the first time I was exposed to anime, and it was Caballeros del Zodiaco, Saint Seiya. Saint Seiya. Man, that shit blew my mind.
What's like the Japanese
my
name of
first
that?
one-
Do I know it or
Say it.
Yeah, Saint
Isaiah? Oh, I don't know.
So
that. Right,
yeah,
right.
Saint Seiya. It's basically it's these humans that have powers granted to them by Athena, the goddess. So this-
Cool.
Through armors. Yeah.
the armors represent like the zodiac and shit like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Pegasus.
It's
yeah.
every
So-
anime. Nice.
Yeah,
N-
but no, but that was
before every anime, you know.
yeah, before the common, everybody just takes a plot and just rolls with it and just recycles it. That was the one. Apart
Yeah,
from that, it was Super Campeones, which is Super Champions of
Captain
soccer.
Tsubasa. Yeah,
Yeah, Captain Subasa, fucking loved it. And the third one was Dragon Ball Z. I was in the early
Oh.
'90s. I knew about Majin Buu before America found out about it in like the beginning of the early 2000s. I'm like, holy shit! I think I saw this when I was a kid. So I guess that the outside world, like anything outside of the United States, was well versed in anime before America even got into it. Because the first anime I saw in America, apart from DBZ, was Gundam Wing
That's kind of weird,
because
isn't
of
it? Though
Toonami.
that
Because of Toonami.
though
Oh
I
yeah,
always
Toonami was the one
Tsunami was the
introduced.
shit.
right.
Yeah.
Tsunami was the shit.
I always imagine America likes American things, right? That's safe to say, right? So you come with that Japanese shit, they're gonna resist it at first. That's now. I am
I mean,
developing
it's
this
everything.
theory as
Everything in
I'm talking,
America.
right? That's my
Anime, Marvel.
as an outsider. That's exactly my view on America. Like you can't get in there if there's already an American thing that does it. Can be better, can be shitter, but they're gonna go with American cartoons before
Yeah.
that Japanese shit. But that is that you think why it got there later compared
The
to
West
Dominican
sucks.
Republic?
The West fucking sucks. This applies to games as well. There's a lot of games that have to do with like anime themed games. This is why a lot of those games are exclusive to Japan because they just don't accept it here. The West doesn't give enough of a chance. They fucking love anime. They love certain specific animes, but then when the games come out, they don't support it. They don't buy it. They don't do nothing with that. That's why we don't get all those titles from Japan. And then when there's a whole bunch of DBZ games out there that the West hasn't even seen yet.
Oh yeah, so many.
Yeah.
So
But that's also
we can't
Japan.
complain.
Yeah,
Japan being Japan, I feel like
but
not
isn't that like a
exporting.
contract thing? And then like when the West adopts an anime, let's say for Netflix, then it's fucking taken down everywhere else, and only Netflix has it, or only Hulu has it, what have you. It's a whole
Before,
thing.
not much. Well, no, before not much. Like look at the Gundam game that came out for PS4, Maxi Boost on. The game
Hmm.
is good, and it's even good enough to be on Evo as one of the sub fighting because you know about Evo. Evo is one of the biggest fighting game tournaments in the world,
It's the
and
biggest.
to get a spot in there, there's got to be a following. Luckily, at least in the Gundam community, which I'm proud of for doing this, that was an arcade game that ported over to PlayStation, and they only did it for PlayStation because it was you already know how PlayStation is in the East in Japan. It's the biggest console out there.
Hmm.
They were able to keep the game alive for such a long time and get it noticed by Evo to give it a spot. But if you look at the rest, you'll never see that on PC. Like it's got to be something that's gonna blow people's minds. And I'm like, the game is good, but nobody wants to give it a shot. And it's not because
Oh,
it's bad; they just don't want to try it. Because oh yeah, there's another anime game, but that's the problem. If you don't give these games a chance, you're never gonna get any other franchise to give you what you want.
it's also Persona. Persona.
Hmm.
A bad rap. Yeah, but they've grown from that. Like Genshin Impact, I don't play it myself. I see it as a gacha game, even though you could do most things without paying. But to me, it's just like, oh, one of the games that wants to be like Breath of the Wild, you know? But that's just me. But I do play Guilty Gear, which looks like an anime for perverts and while you're fucking people up. They're like 3 pixels away from showing a vagina and Guilty Gear Strive.
I need to
Craze
play
brought
this
it up
shit.
to
I
me.
need to play this.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, like when Craze brought it up, I looked it up. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, they're fan servicing like a motherfucker.
Hmm. Dude,
Oh
that
yeah.
Captain Subasa game is actually pretty fucking fun. But again, nobody's gonna give it a shot, and nobody else is gonna pick it up. I know Vin. If he plays it, he'll fucking have a blast at that game.
What
Like I
Guilty
wish.
Gear? I should have bought it for it, but Vin, for personal reasons, was taking some time off, so I gifted it to somebody else. But I'll
We
gift
can
it to
play
Vin as
games
well.
anyway. We have a
Oh
infrastructure problem.
yeah,
All right,
yeah. We
guys.
have the latency.
This is a podcast, not a clan where we decide who plays what. I am going to defeato this, and we're gonna go into a new topic. I need to reset our minds,
All right.
and I'm
Is it boobs
gonna.
or ass?
I mean, I wanted to go with a community subject, and those are usually in that in that vein. Um, I think this is a good one. What qualities do you find attractive in a partner? Coined by Fonch, a name you've probably heard before if you listen to this podcast. What qualities
Oh,
do you find
speaking.
attractive in a partner? Retro Sugar.
Oh me.
Yeah.
First of all, the brain. That's
Hmm.
number one. Like keeping all the memes and the jokes aside is the brain because back when we worked in synergies, me and Craze worked together for a very long time. There would be girls that are hot as shit. They looked at work like they were at the club. Like they will get dolled up just to take fucking calls in a call center. But you speak to them and there was no thoughts in there other than I'm pretty and you should like me. So to me it's the brain because hey, you could fuck a hot, basically corpse, because that's another stereotype of where we lived. The hottest chicks in our area, their job was just to do the starfish in bed. Like,
What's
hey,
that?
I'm
What?
here. The starfish in bed, just lay
The
there.
lion bed.
Open, yeah, just
Oh,
open their
dude.
arms,
Yeah.
open their legs. I'm hot. You should fuck
During
me, and you
sexual
should be
intercourse. Gotcha. Right. I know
exactly
all
just
about
hey.
that.
You're fucking a pretty body. You should be, proud of yourself. Nah, fuck out of here. Move, bitch. Back that ass while I'm doing work as well. It's a
I'm
two
working
person thing.
it.
So to me, really, 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 all jokes aside, is the brain. Can we vibe good, whatever, and then from there, everything else is great. Oh, you
So
have a nice ass, you have nice thighs. Apart from that, I find you attractive.
So
Great.
let me
But
add to that and ask you for some specifics. What specific parts of the brain do you like? What's the kind of person that vibes with you?
The frontal cortex, of course.
yeah, I think more the left side of the brain really
Oh, the
attracts
left
me more
hemisphere.
than the left
God
side
damn
is
all of you. I
great.
said specifics.
The unused
Well,
portion of the brain. I love
I
it.
mean, I don't have a type. That's the thing.
I
Like, if
dislike
we look
brains
at
immensely.
if we look at all my exes, like let's say the last two ex, my ex-wife, for example, is drastically different than my ex-girlfriend, which is drastically different than the girl I'm speaking with now, which is actually listening in, by the way. I'm not gonna say who it is until the end of the podcast.
Oh,
And
spoiler:
yeah,
retro
so yeah.
fucks everything with a hole. That's the takeaway
It's
I'm
me.
getting away
No,
It's
from
it's
this.
not.
me.
No,
No,
It's
it's
no,
not.
me.
It's
It's
not.
me. All right.
me and Vin been talking. I
It's me.
actually talked to Dina as well.
Yeah.
We're negotiating some terms.
Dude, the
But no,
Yeah.
all
world's
jokes aside,
the
I
internet's worst
don't have
kept
a type.
secret.
On a relationship?
I'll talk to Fonch, for example. My fucking Discord wife is in here today. I'll talk to Fonch, and me and Fonch will click. Cool. If we don't, whatever. And then I'll speak to somebody who looks completely different from Fonch. I don't know, Maria, and I speak to Maria, but then me and Maria click. That's it. Like I don't have a type or expectations. You talk to somebody, the chemistry comes up or it doesn't, and that's it.
Or Vin,
Or me.
obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why you get this hint, Dag, but yeah, me.
No, don't worry about it. Anyway, that's a great segue. Finn, what about you? What qualities do you find attractive? And don't
Uh,
say the brain. I will fucking stab you.
yeah, the brain. I
God
love
damn
the
it.
brain. But I mean, aside from the task that we spoke about on the last podcast, one thing that I really enjoy when meeting new people and feeling attracted to them is I like to see how they treat other people, you know. So let's say we're on a restaurant and this person is being like an asshole towards the waitress or the garçon, and I don't really like that, you know. So education is what makes me attracted to people. How you behave, how you like you feel towards the hustle that other people are going on
I
are
kind of
going
feel
through,
that as
you know.
well. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what would make, let's use like an example. back in high school, there was this girl that was really, really, really beautiful. She was like the most beautiful girl in our in our class, you know.
Right.
And while everybody was like simping for her, I would be repelled from her because she was really an asshole. You know, she treated people like garbage. So that made she look like an ugly person to me. So even if she
Mm-hmm.
was pretty or everything
Preach.
else, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't like connect with. I wouldn't. I wasn't able to see what she was for real. You know.
Yeah.
So
And just to add to my own thing, like this applies not just to relationships, even when
yeah.
I'm just being a single slut and fucking around. If I feel like I don't have anything to say to you after we're gonna fuck, then I'm not gonna fuck you in the first place. This is gonna be me and you awkwardly being naked on the bed and me waiting for you to say that you have to leave. So there has to be some
That's my
sort of
fetish,
connection.
honestly. That's my fetish.
There has to be somewhat of a connection for us to even fool around.
Makes sense. Craze. What
I
qualities
mean,
do you find attractive in a human?
I mean, it depends. Like you said, if you're in a single fuckery mode,
Now,
it's all
you can
physical.
give
There's
two
really nothing.
answers. You
There's
can give
really
two
nothing
answers.
else. I mean, no, there's really nothing else after. If you're just looking to fuck, I mean, you shouldn't really care about what's in their head after that because you're not knowing how you're in your single fuckery mode. You're not gonna go back to that. So that whole overworking yourself to find out more about them when you're just fucking around, then you're kind of wasting both of your time, both people's time. Now, if it's about relationship, when if you're on that mentality that you're looking for something official, serious,
Hmm.
then it's more about for me. It's more about your personality. You don't got to be the brainiac. You don't got to be the smartest person, or hold a conversation with me at my level about my. You don't got to do that. If I feel that within you, you have a personality that's caring, that is not about only yourself, but also about your significant other. I fucks with that. That's what got me with my wife. When I met her, I was in the serious mode that I'm not even fucking around. I'm staying in my ass home. I was focusing on my career, my job, and all that because I wanted to have a family.
Right.
I met her. I met her at a gathering that we had with friends. Spoke to her during the party. She called my attention physically and during conversation. Next thing you know, after that, it was just I got sick. I got absolutely sick. Fever, 105-degree fever.
Holy shit.
Fahrenheit, because I know
I was thinking,
And
holy
yeah,
shit, dude.
these
that
tourists. Yeah,
You're
because
Boiled
fucking
brains. Let's
I'm
go.
like this. I'm like, yeah, because these tourists think, it was lava going through my veins.
fucking Mrs. Craze got Craze sick first day. Like,
Yo,
yo, this
it
is
was
your
And this was
affection for
outside
me.
of COVID times,
no,
mind you.
like, yeah, this is like back in 2015, and from that point on, I remember I got sick, and she came to my aid and stood with me all weekend long, taking care of me and all that. It was like
And that's the kind of personality
I
you
was
were
like,
looking
holy
for.
shit! Like, and everybody else around the world, whatever, they didn't give a shit about me, no nothing, even with friends, whatever. But she was there, and whenever I needed, she was there. I was down and down. She was there, kind of like what I do for a lot of people, where you want to talk, whatever. Like she was that person. They kind of resemble that. So she just hooked me. From that point on, it was like everything else can be worked on. Like even in myself, and that caught me. That really got me.
Right.
So
Alright.
yeah, that's for me. It's just like if you're a caring person, then I can see you in the future as being a caring mother, caring like for like my kids, my even for
Very
What about you,
practical,
Mr. Dutch?
very practical answer, but also a very nice one. I get that you want a caring person, especially in that stage of your life. For me, it's been a learning process because
About the
so
brain?
I love the I hate brains. I dislike them. I prefer to date a zombie, but so my first really I've had this is also I think a new information. I have had two relationships in my life.
One
And
imaginary people.
one of them is
Don't fall for it.
imaginary, obviously, but also I've had zero one night stands. So I have I think a very
How about
premium
us?
point of view. My first relationship was started when I was 14 and lasted for 8 years.
Holy shit.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and at that point, I thought I mean, physically there was a thing, but I feel like physical attraction is not a very interesting point to talk about. I have a very broad taste as well of all of you guys. I feel like, as long as the mind is all right. I think a lot of people are pretty, honestly. But at that point, my main concern was, and this is still something I stand by, is I like to take care of a lady. And that I realize that's a little bit old fashioned. Old fashioned. I like a somewhat fragile lady of whom I can take care. I think that's a very attractive quality. I don't like a helpless girl. I like a girl that will let me take care of her. Like, not a too assertive girl. Very old fashioned. But then that relationship, daddy issues preferred. Yeah, definitely. That relationship ended way too late. I can say in hindsight. And then I got a new relationship, which is a very caring person that also lets me take care of her, which I think is very important. But the reason the first relationship didn't work out is because, let's not use too harsh words. IQ wise, she was a bit on the low side, and I could not hold a conversation with her even after 8 years. She'd start talking about work, very uninteresting. I put an immense amount of energy into finding things that she was saying that I was interested in, instead of it coming naturally. And then I realized only after I got my new girlfriend, which I now am dating for 5 years, I am a serial monogamist. I realized that intelligence is a very attractive quality, very important. Because if you're not on the same wavelength, if your partner has nothing for you interesting to say, you're working too hard. You're working too hard to keep it interesting, basically.
It didn't feel like a chore to be with someone you're supposed to like.
Yeah, that's why I say,
Yeah.
the brain.
I imagine the same thing is when somebody's too smart for you, basically. It could have been the other way around.
Yeah.
If you're not...
But
I don't know. That the smart person probably feels like that, but I always
yeah.
think if I'm dumb enough to not know that I'm dumb, so I don't know how to say that to
I,
answer this question.
I always say I am kind of jealous of people that are really simple. Like, they can do a job in a factory, packing the same cookie into the same little tin every day, the whole day, and come back at the end of the day,
English cookie.
grab a beer, watch some football, go to bed, and do it all over again the next day and be happy. I'm kind of jealous of that, because that's not enough for
Yeah.
me. So I always feel sad when I underachieve. I'm jealous of people that don't have that sometimes.
All right. There we go.
All
Four
right.
humble opinions, four different point of views. That's what this podcast is all about. Got a dude that's a Dutchman from the Netherlands, Brazilian, a Rhode Island and New York opinion. And yeah. So if you're seeing this live, remember if you missed anything, you came late to the stream, you could always re-listen to this at Apple Podcasts, Google Box, and everywhere you could get your podcast.
Just look for
Not a
Not a
cult
Cult.
pod.
Yeah, and if you're listening this in the future, check us out live every Sunday on twitch.tv/degradation. It might sound like we're ending the podcast right now, but we're not.
No, it's just
Pretty much.
we're just chilling. By the way, degradation. The first E is actually a 3 because he's a ghetto
Thank you, sir,
boy
thank
from
you.
the Netherlands.
He's got my back.
He's edgy.
Retro's got my bag. And I am very edgy, super edgy. Speaking of that, Finn, crazy college stories. A subject
Oh, yeah.
which I have nothing
Oh.
to add to because I'm so edgy.
Oh my god, yeah.
Let's go.
College was a hell of an experience, at least for me. It's where I discovered pretty much everything in my whole life. So, I was talking to Mrs. Hyde, Dag, in past occasions, and one of these stories came to the surface, and I wanted to tell you guys, to share with you some beautiful moments that I had in college, and maybe you guys can share it with me as well, a couple of stories. So this one is one of my favorites, and it's when I used to live in, like, it's like a fraternity, but it's not a fraternity as you see in movies. It's just like, so it's like more like a dorm, but a private one, because we would rent the house ourselves and move there with other students. So the thing is, there was this friend. Well, I'm gonna call him Billy Joe because that was his nickname, and
Great name.
there's me and there's Potato, right? So Potato and I were talking to Billy Joe, and he told us something like, I need to go to the bank to sow some stuff, and you know I'll be back later. And we're all right, dude, all right. You don't want to stay here with us? We were chilling, we are like, talking and eating stuff. So he went to the bank, and it was back in the Facebook era where people would like check in on places. And
Oh.
there was this girl that Billy Joe was dating back then, and called Marielle, and she checked in on a sushi restaurant with our friend Billy Joe.
Oh.
And Potato
God.
and I saw that, and we were like, this fucking motherfucker, he betrayed us, you know?
He did.
He started lying to us, you know. I mean, he could have told us that he was going to date on a date with Marielle. We wouldn't say shit. Just maybe like mock him a little bit, but nothing intense. But he chose to lie and say to us that he was going to the bank. So we thought about a master plan. We planned his funeral. So the thing is, there were some students from other countries as well, visiting us for like 6 months, and one of these guys was staying in our house, called Miguel. He was from Mexico. So I told Miguel, we all used to call him Miguelito. So Miguelito, we're going to plan Billy Joe's funeral. You gotta help us, because he was all serious. He was like, he he would never joke at something like that. So we all called another dorms to visit us. We all dressed in black. We made this tiny little coffin out of a shoebox. We printed the picture of him, pasted on top of this box, made something like a floral thing, and we started recording a video. So I was interviewing people, like, all in sad songs and black and white video, and we started recording something like, yeah, he was a great friend of ours, and it's very sad that this thing happened to him. We never expected him to go so early, and stuff like
Beautiful,
this.
beautiful stuff.
Yeah, it was so fucking beautiful, dude. And then we started calling people to visit us, so we got the house really crowded, and we hid inside of the room. And when Billy Joe and Marielle came to the house later that day, uh, people called us, and Miguelito led the coffin holding thing, and we went right after Miguelito holding the coffin,
Was that still
and
the shoebox?
it's still a shoebox. Yeah,
All
we were
right,
holding
that's
like
that's important.
for people. Yeah. And then we got to the living room, and Billy Joe was like, "What the hell is going on? Why all these people are here? What the hell is fucking going on?" And we pressed play on the video, dude. And then it started. Everybody saw like the funeral of Billy Joe, and it was amazing. It was like a huge event. That was the pinnacle of the story. So that's one of my favorite and fondest memories from college, is when we buried our friend because he lied to us.
Interesting. All right, I imagine we want some different takes, and seeing as I have nothing to add, I'm gonna take my first podcast piss.
Oh shit!
Retro, you can take charge. See you in a bit.
All right, so that made me laugh when you said Miguelito. That's the first dude I've ever fought in DR. It was a dude named Miguelito, and he had at least 100 pounds on me.
Holy
And
shit!
and the only reason I won is because he was so fucking slow. I swear I have a faint memory of seeing his punches come in slow motion and me just going back like, oop, just tilting my head back, and he wouldn't hit me. And then when he was tired, I just pushed him over and he fell on the sidewalk and I just ran away.
That's Miguelito.
That's Miguelito. So I fought him and you killed him.
No, Miguelito carried the coffin for us.
Oh, okay.
We
Yeah,
killed
yeah,
Billy
yeah,
Joe.
yeah. So how's everybody doing mentally?
Pues,
It's all about our mentalies. Me,
Yeah.
I'm fine. Kind of stressed for school coming up now. I did readjust my schedule that I was gonna talk to with Praise. Um, so I'm only taking classes in the morning, so now I can stream whenever or probably get a job at night. Who knows? Well, yeah, the only thing on my mind right now is like this is my last semester. Chill out,
Nice.
go through it. You'll be fine. How about you, Chris? I know you must have a lot on your mind. You just came to streaming back, came back with flying numbers. You got, you broke records this week. How you feeling, my guy?
before I give you that take, I got something that's been itching right now,
Go
not
ahead.
physically.
Hmm.
In the
I
chat,
mean,
I feel like somebody in the chat is Dominican because two things are happening here. One, somebody actually
okay.
acknowledged to me. No, 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 no. I'm not saying that. Like somebody acknowledged my caballero shit, right? That's
Mhm.
cool. But now the fact that they spelled Brian with a Y cements that somebody's that's from DR.
That is my
I've
mystery
never
person.
seen.
That is who I've been talking to. It is Iggy says. We're the ones that
Let's
are
fucking
bonding
go.
right now.
Listen, that
Oh
Brian.
shit.
Yo, I looked to the side and all I saw was the Brian with a Y, and I was like, that's Dominican right there. That is straight up Dominican. But yeah, welcome to the podcast. But in regards to this week, yo, yeah, I told you, man, I got kids, bro. I peep. Um, this week has been crazy. And that actually falls into the whole Twitch is dying thing. A lot of the stuff this week has been, the community's been giving back immense to the stream and the community. These guys literally just gifted. I'm almost 250 subs just this week in like 5 days.
Dude, what the
Last night was
fuck?
last night was slow. Last night, I would say slow because we were just doing the anime thing, but it was about I think a good 26 subs last night, which got us close to 50, and we have our server fully upgraded to like what we can do in this, and it's all based on this whole week's activity. These guys have like really taken me in, and it's been a surreal week. I haven't had
Right.
um
Craze, can you give
Just
some more
to
context for people
wait,
that aren't
before.
familiar with Twitch and Discord and such? What does this all mean for the listeners in the
Gotcha.
future, basically?
So basically, on Twitch,
Even if you
a
don't know what
lot
a
of
sub is, basically.
yeah, a subscriber is basically somebody paying $5 to attain certain features from the stream. You can either give emotes. It's basically emotes and a little notoriety recognition by having a badge next to your name. That's what a lot of streamers live off is by people who either
Right.
donate money, gift bits, which is digital currency within Twitch. So think it's a robbery, and then the subscription. Um, so a lot that's what a lot of streamers are, you know, need to be able to sustain themselves is getting those subs or gifted subs. Um, but yeah, so that's what I was going to mention before about the whole YouTube thing about gifting memberships. Memberships are basically the equivalent of subs. If they do that, that'll break everything there. And that's one
Real
thing.
quick, let me butt in because Dej wasn't here. The topic that I brought up is how's everybody doing mentally. I
Oh
expressed
shit.
me with the school
Right.
and pass it on to Craze. He came back this week. How's he's feeling mentally after the
Gotcha,
success of
gotcha.
a comeback, so on and so
I
forth.
feel to end it, I feel amazing. Not because
I
of
imagine so.
not because of all the numbers. It's because I've been working on this project for 3 months, and I stopped streaming for 3 months to focus my attention on the
It's your work
community
coming
and
through
on this.
fruition, yeah. There's no greater feeling.
The the project worked. It worked like I expected it, but it was faster than what I estimated. And now I'm finally streaming the way I've always wanted to. I'm not stuck under that one category of doing the popular thing to try to get people to come by and give me a chance. Now I'm doing my own thing. I can stream whatever I want. I'll stream My Little Pony tomorrow. And now the
I believe
audience
you.
that's shown up has been a legit stable audience. Like same people I see all the time. new people come along the way, and they're the ones bringing those people in. Like they've taken it upon themselves to make everybody feel comfortable, engaging with them, and that was the main goal, is having the community to be part of the stream. And I feel great. I'm super proud of my mods, super proud of the whole team, the Discord staff, everybody that's put their 2 cents to this. They've done an amazing job.
Look at
How
this
about you,
sappy
degradation?
guy.
How's your mental?
My
You're back.
mental. Um, well, first of all, I just peed, so it's at its peak right now. Empty bladder is happy me. But aside from that, in all seriousness, I've been kind of struggling. I've been struggling for a while because I still have a job. Contrary to popular beliefs, I have a job, and I can't excite myself for it these days. It's all been, I'm there for the money at this point, and that's something I always promised myself I would never do. That don't do a job for the money, do it because you love it. But now here I am. I actually want to full-time Twitch at some point and actually make a decent living out of it. That's gonna take at least 3 more years probably, but still I'm stuck at the job. And one reason why the job kind of sucks right now is because I work in the entertainment industry in Asia, and in Asia right now, COVID is at its all-time high, and there's no concerts, there's no festivals, so we don't have any business, and it's been like this for 2 years. Usually, the cool part of my job was that I travel to Asia a lot. That hasn't happened for 2 years, and now money's so tight at the office. I'm at a privileged position where the boss told me, "Yo, dude, we can still pay you for a while, but if it keeps going like this, it's gonna get real dicey. So maybe like at your leisure, look for a different job. We'll pay you for as long as we
Oh, shit.
can, and yeah, they just look for a different job. If you get something, power to you. If you don't, we'll keep it up as long as we can." So I'm very privileged in that, right? Some people just got fucking kicked out first month that
Yeah.
people smelled something was up. But yeah, that's my job right now, and all the things. The only thing I can really find the energy for are streaming related stuff because that's where my passion is right now. And then we've got this sinking ship that I have to be excited about in order to function, and I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. That's been going on for months, but it's at its all time low right now, and I find
Yeah.
myself working less and less at the job that makes me money and more for streaming stuff and content creation stuff. So while I'm
Mm.
doing fine, it's only because I still have a job right now, but that's it.
Yeah, COVID fucked everything. And then there's like two different extremes. Before I know Vin is next, but before we pass it on to Vin, over here now they're having the problem that people don't want to work. That's the problem in the U.S. Like they sent an
Right.
email yesterday saying that they're no longer in the state of New York, giving the COVID funds, whatever the $300 or whatever it
Right.
is that people were getting a week, just to see if people get the fuck out there. But the thing is, I think about it from the employer's perspective. Me, when COVID hit the fan and they were giving out the government relief funds and whatnot, I was making more money than when I was actually out there working. And then there are
Shit.
people that if they go out and work now, they'll make less. So what's the point of killing your back? Let's say you work whatever, something that kills your back, get paid less than what you do for jerking off at home, and then you're gonna go there and work.
It's the
That's
same
funny.
thing in the
So
Netherlands with just how do you call it? If you don't work, if you can't work for some reason, you just get a bag of cash from the government. There's
yeah,
many people that just like it's not a lot. It's a good amount. You can live off it, and I think it's a very
which
valid choice to say, I'd rather live tight and not do shit or only do what I want than get a little bit more money and get rid of 40 hours of my week every week. I totally
and
get
then we
that.
could I was gonna say something. I lost my train of thought.
I'm
Anyways,
sorry.
keep going
I'm
with the
sorry.
topic. Vin, how's your mental?
A mess. Complete mess. Lately, I've been learning how to care less about some kind of stuff. We spoke earlier today about the causes. That's one thing that always take a huge toll on my head. My country situation is not good, and there's no perspective. It came to a place where I've lost. I was always a very optimistic and hopeful person, and I kind of lost all the hope I had on pretty much everything. So I still do therapy. I was doing back then, and I still do that, and I don't intend to stop. But now I feel like I might need to work on some medication. I don't know. That's up to the specialist to define that. But either way, one thing that I can always back for people, especially if someone else is struggling with anxiety or stuff like that, is look for specialists. Look for help. There's no pride in trying to figure things out by yourself. You can do that and still like have the help of a therapist or somebody who's specialized on helping you. A good therapist won't tell you what to do. He's going to help you figuring out by yourself. So that's what I kind of have to say to people over there, that if you need to, there's no reason to suffer by yourself alone. You can always count on help from other people.
What has helped you in your current situation, Vin?
Avoiding social media, avoiding news.
Classic.
Yeah, just pretending that things are not fucked up. But also staying closer to her. I'm staying a lot closer to Danny because we live together, and this is kind of corny, but she's my best friend after all, and it's a person that I can share everything. So
Oh, you
I've been
softy.
spending a lot. Yeah, fucking softy. Yeah, but I've been spending a lot more time with her and chatting with her about these feelings. This helps a lot because when it happens to her, I'm the one that she looks for to speak about it, and we kind of help each other. So that's we've been taking care of each other here, and I mean, I have a lot to thank to Craze Rant to you because you guys understand when I kind of get a little bit absent. That's not my choice. I mean, it's kind of my choice to heal, but if I could just get better with like the like this, I would get better. It's just that it takes a little bit of time. So yeah, that's what normally helps me. It's having supportive people around and knowing that I can take my time.
And
Mwah, my friend. We know you know we love you. Take all the time you need.
Vin already knows that when like at least with my case, I kind of keep to myself, and whenever I go through my stuff, people they give me my space, and I kind of figure it out. That's how I've been doing with Vin, but I keep tabs on his ass. So even though he has been talking to
Yeah, it's
me,
the
I know
same
he's
thing.
talking to Retro.
I call
Like I know he's
you
talking to Retro,
sometimes.
yeah.
I'm like, yo, what's up? I call him. I call Craze at least once a week. I'm like, yo, how's your mental?
Yeah,
We talk
like
about it
I see,
for
like I'll
some
see
time.
Vin. I know he for a fact he talks a lot more with Retro, and I always keep track because the one thing I know that keeps him, based is playing games or getting to play games that he hasn't been able to dedicate time to. And I've seen him a lot playing Final Fantasy 14. So when
It's
I
a
see
good
him play
escape.
there,
It's good escape
yeah,
route, right?
Gamers unite.
it's an
Gamers unite.
yeah, it's an escape for him, and I know that who he's playing with are amazing people. His one of two of his best friends. So when I know that he's doing that, I know he's in good hands, and I just don't even interrupt. I just leave him do his thing, and then when he's ready to talk to me, I'm always there to talk to him, see just to hear him out because it's not easy, man. We're all coping with some bullshit in our lives. Is the world's weird now, man. It's
Oh yeah.
COVID. COVID isn't just scaring people. It's just changed everything now. Before, what was it before? How everything that was different was like given like some stupid medical name. How it
Yeah,
was now like oh what they found out to be anxiety. They dubbed it as being something fucking crazy. But now I have people who come up to me and they're going through anxiety attacks, and
Mm,
I know what it is because I've also felt that. I thought it was tachycardia until I
yeah.
realized that it was this is actually
yeah.
anxiety, and I have ways to cope with it. I know Retro has different ways to cope with it. My way sounds really weird. I put my head under cold running water
Really?
for a while, and I just
Yeah.
kneel over the bathtub, let cold running water go over my head. I put a song on. I focus only on the song and then the feeling of that cold feeling, and then everything that I was worried about, it kind of starts to slip away
Gives you some time to
unless
breathe.
I let it come back in. Yeah, so it's like that's how I deal with it. So I'm not
Yeah,
taking no damn pills.
everybody is, doing. They have everybody copes their own way. Like if somebody needs pills, take pills. Somebody needs a cold shower, take a shower. But the important thing to take out of this is just talk to people. You're never, trust me, nobody's unique. Nobody in the world, not even Elon Musk, whoever you think is unique is not unique. There's probably 50,000 people that think just like them. So whenever you have an issue, if you could bring yourself the courage to talk to people about it, whoever it may be, just talk about it. Throw it out there. Sometimes just venting helps you your thoughts or getting an unbiased perspective.
I,
I
I f-
like talking to my problems with strangers, actually, not even my friends.
oh
I
yeah.
prefer just talking to a random stranger because I know they don't have any profile on me. They don't know what my personality is. They're just gonna give me a third person's, unbiased opinion, which is a therapist essentially. I haven't gone to therapy directly. I just speak to strangers on the internet. It's helped me out, but if it ever goes to that point, I would, just seek out therapy. You need an unbiased opinion.
Right. For me, it's always been a hard thing because my first, and I think a lot of people have this. My first, if it's going kind of shit and I'm getting too stressed or I have some anxiety or uh, things just get too much, the first thing I do is I lock myself up in a room. In this case, probably my stream room. Uh, Turn the lock and probably just wallow in my own self pity for as long as possible. But while that has always been very comfortable to me, and I can keep that up indefinitely, it never helped anything. And I'm not saying you need to you need to be proactive, yes, but I'm not saying that that's you can go through a period of hermit being a hermit. I love being a hermit. I am a hermit like naturally, but at some point, like the biggest depression I've gone through was after the girlfriend of 8 years that I talked about earlier broke up with me. After 8 years, it felt like a part of me fell away after that period of time, and the only thing that helped was talking to people. Definitely, it was also the only thing that gave me joy. But still, at that point, you're not looking for joy, right? You're not looking to
You're
have
grieving.
fun.
You're grieving.
Yeah, you just want to be left alone and be sad. And I did that for maybe slightly too long, but the only reason I got out of it is because at some point, some of my very nosy friends started like fucking breaking into my house and keeping me company. Shout out to those guys, fucking lovely pieces of shit. And that's the only thing that helped. And then suddenly I was out of it real quick. This is, of course, a very relatively mild issue, a relationship breakup. Probably, I don't know, because I haven't dealt with actual depression. But that, for me, that was always the only thing that got me out of it. Other people, you need somebody else.
Yeah, always. I don't believe in people like, oh yeah, I'm self sufficient. I'm doing this by myself. No, you just putting that shit real deep down somewhere, and it's gonna blow up on somebody randomly.
Yeah.
Fuck around, have a Karen moment at Walmart or whatever. I just think they're idiots though. But
Sadly, I didn't have that. I wish I kept it up a little bit longer to explode in Walmart, but we don't have any Walmarts here, so it was
what is your
unavoidable.
equivalent of Walmart?
Probably the Action. It's called Action. I think it's a thing in the. Nah, no, it's not. No, we don't have an equivalent to Walmart. We have like cheap stores, but we don't have a store that has everything like Walmart.
You don't have a superstore.
No, that's not a concept here. But we also have a
You
very small
can't
country.
you can't go to any store and just buy a shotgun at 2 in the morning.
No, you have to have a drug
You
dealer
see?
friend for that.
See? America number one. I could go in the middle of
Nah, you're right.
Wisconsin, go
That's
to my super Walmart, get my shotgun.
dude. You've got shit
Real.
figured out. It's uncanny. We're like
So,
monkeys in the
so,
dirt compared to you guys.
so we can't go out to get a shotgun and get the kid a little a little $1 Hot Wheels right quick.
Yeah, that imagine that
Shotgun for the
shopping cart. You get a
boys.
shotgun and Hot Wheels.
And you can self checkout too. Over here, you don't gotta go through the cashier. Go through the self checkout.
Can you self check out a fucking shotgun?
Nah, nah.
I don't know. I
Damn
actually
it.
don't know.
That would have been perfect,
They say,
man.
no, that's in the back. They'll sell you that in the
No
back.
ID
but then
check
in the front, you
necessary,
actually have
sir.
Would you like some shells with that? Oh yes, hollow points. Good.
Like the shotgun shells in America are right next to the Kit Kats at the checkout, right? You can grab a Kit Kat
Yeah,
to go and maybe
we're-
some shotgun shells.
We're going
Oh,
on a
yeah.
picnic to shoot turtles.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next subject. I've got one actually, and I don't necessarily. No, I'm behaving this time. So I think this was a topic I coined 2 weeks ago for myself. It was a whole discussion where space travel for when you remember when Mr. Amazon, Mr. Bezos, took the pleasure trips to space, basically. Like he had some, he had some of his.
The biggest middle finger to all the Amazon employees. Ever.
Correct, yeah. It was a whole discussion in the Netherlands, at least that I know of, that space travel for private persons, unless if it's used for scientific improvement, should become illegal. And I thought that was a very interesting point. Should we want to? I'm a bit distracted right now because Finn is probably getting a king's meal hand delivered to him right now.
I need to lunch, guys.
Dude, why?
I mean, it is
I'm so fucking hungry. I normally lunch at 11 a.m. and now it's 1 p.m., dude.
Dude, what do you think that in every podcast you see me always munching on?
No, I understand, but it was just distracting.
Yeah, it was always to calm the nerves. Like I have had this is my second tea.
Oh, Mr. T here. Mr. T here.
Mhm.
Anyway, the interesting point I wanted to discuss was, should space travel only be reserved for scientific ventures? Should we
Yes.
say, like, that a private person cannot do this
Fuck the
unless...
riches. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Fuck the riches.
I can't disagree
Just
with that.
because just because you have like a bazillion money that you got like by exploring other people, it doesn't mean you're entitled to do whatever you want to do. You know. Every
Military and
single
science.
every fucking damn time that they release one of those fucking rockets, it's a fucking tunnel of fuel they're spending
Yeah.
for nothing. It's just so because one fucking rich bald guy wants to see the fucking space, dude. Fuck this guy, man. You know,
Yo,
Yeah.
somebody,
what's wrong
somebody
with
needs
us rich bald guys?
some.
You're not rich yet, dude.
But I mean, somebody needs to tell Bezos something like, dude, you Earth is not your like playground. You live with other people here. You know, stop that.
I mean,
Yeah.
Remember NSYNC? The guy from NSYNC would also went up there.
did he go?
yeah.
Actually, no. The only thing I remember from NSYNC is Justin Timberlake.
Well, what was his name? Lance? The
Lance
like
Armstrong. Yeah, Lance Armstrong. I know
No,
that
no,
one.
no.
yeah, no, it wasn't.
No,
Um,
the
he actually got
blonde
to go
pretty
there.
boy with the blue
Yeah,
eyes.
he got to
went
go up there. It was him. It was like a group of like 5 people that paid to go up there.
Really?
I think that's where it first started. I think they were the first group that were able to pay to go up there, and then it just became a thing where now billionaires are just paying their asses. You know,
this
their way
is
up there.
this is a thing that happened in the past, or is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it is.
This was not one of the Bezos crew.
The but the
Alright.
billionaires are already a big problem for us. You know, we don't need more problems coming from the billionaires. We need less problems. We need billionaires actually helping people.
Yeah, man.
You
Like,
remember?
Would be nice,
Speaking
yeah.
of space stuff, I don't know what the topic really is, but when the Red Bull put the dude to jump from space into Earth,
wow.
that I watched. That shit was fucking amazing.
That should be
Yo,
legalized.
that was crazy.
Retro, the topic is, should space travel only be reserved for improving or in benefit of science? Referring to the Jeff Bezos pleasure trips like 2 weeks back, something like that.
I'll let him do whatever he wants. There's no way to stop him.
There is no way to stop him, but we can have an opinion about it. Like the environmental consequences of it are things that
It's unstoppable, my dude. We're doomed. But you know, you can have an opinion.
yeah, we
no.
can try to do something.
Bro, yeah, I can't see this right now, but there's a spider. Like Spider-Man's over here coming down my ceiling.
all right.
Holy shit.
Craze is
For the
currently
visual,
fighting a
for the
battle with a
listeners,
spider.
yes.
This is
He's holding some kind of device. Oh, he's taking pictures of the spider. Actually, he's a pervert. He has some weird spider
he's
fetish, I
jacking off
believe.
right now. What the hell?
Holy shit! Oh no, he picked it up on a piece of paper. Oh, this man has courage. I would have fucking been out. My sorry. I'll plug myself and run out the room. And y'all continue the
This is the
podcast.
most fucking chaotic podcast we've had so far, and that's saying
Motherfucker, I
something.
was trying to help his ass. Hope he fucking dies now.
But what is it? Is it a daddy? The only spiders I fuck with are daddy long legs. Those are
Those are
like the only ones I'll let them crawl on me. I know they don't bite.
all right, bitch. Shut the
whatever.
fuck up. Those are not spiders. They are arachnids, but they are a different genus than spiders. Daddy longlegs
This
are not spiders.
fucking
This
fucking
bitch was
nerd
white.
here. Well, actually, daddy long legs are not spiders.
I've been
That
waiting for my
bastard was
moment to
white.
strike.
He was albino.
Yo, if you have more than four, if you have 8 legs, you're a spider. If you have 100, you're a millipede or centipede, whatever the fuck.
All right, cool. They only have 6 legs and 2 feelers, sir. Thank you very much. So that's why they're not spiders.
Tarantulas to me have 10 legs.
Wait,
Those
I
two
fucked up.
big
That's not
fucking
true. Everybody
things-
ignore what I just said. My O actually didn't work.
God damn it.
Anyway, yeah, my opinion on that is fuck Jeff Bezos. He's not my employer on Twitch anymore, so I fuck him even more. I want him
He's
to
not?
give me. I want him to. No, he's not. He probably is, but
He
he's
stepped down.
he stepped down from Amazon. I want him to give me some of his money. That's the extent of my opinion. But also, I
Well,
think
There you
like
go. That's ethics.
yeah,
Seduce him. That's all you gotta do.
I'll do it. I'll show him my luscious curls. He'll be jealous and he'll want to fuck me probably.
On many of the degradation clips that you guys could find, listen
Dude, I have
later,
the material.
he has some clips of him twerking on a chair like a Twitch star.
Yeah.
I always think that billionaires are fucking sick motherfuckers. You know, they might have like weird tentacle videos, live action on their computers. You know, stuff like that. That they paid a lot of money for people to do for them.
Oh,
I mean, to
probably.
become a billionaire, you had to fuck so many people over in order to get there. We all know Bill Gates stole basically Windows back when he worked on Xerox
Yep.
and whatnot. You have to be a piece of shit to make it as a billionaire.
And if you're not, the amount of money they have is enough to corrupt anybody. That's you'll think you're a god. I really believe that. I think I would be a garbage human if I had 5 billion buckaroos.
Please, you don't even
I
get
would-
arrested. When was ever a billionaire arrested? Nah. And
You
if
can
they
buy
do,
anything.
they go. You could go to club. You go to Club Fed. You know what Club Fed is in your side of the world?
Never heard of
Club Fed is basically a resort where you have to stay at to do your jail time. You have beaches, you have pools, you have tennis courts, you have pool tables. It's just like living in a
damn it.
resort, and that's your jail.
it. But also, I
Well,
feel
yeah.
like billionaires probably can even buy themselves out of that. Like
You
that's
remember
probably
when
where.
Pablo? You remember when Pablo Escobar made his own prison, quote unquote, to live, which was just a big
Oh
mansion
yeah.
with all the thing. Basically, that's Club Fed.
Damn, in our version
Beautiful.
of Club Fed is Guantanamo Bay.
Also pretty nice, very luxurious. But as a counterpoint, what like SpaceX is doing, as far as I know, you know, I don't have all the information on it. I've been following it not too closely, but what Elon Musk does feels like he is doing what he's doing for the benefit of mankind, the best he thinks it should be done. You know, he's trying to further science at least. What are your thoughts on stuff like that? He's still
I don't believe him.
basically a private
I will follow
person.
that man to the ends of the earth. I'll follow him wherever he leads us. He is the IRL version of Lex Luthor.
All right, we've got some
Guaranteed, that might-
juicy, polarizing opinions here. Finn says,
always.
I don't believe it. And Craze says, he is my Lex Luthor.
I think it's both. I'll be the neutral guy for this one. Obviously, he's not going to do anything for free and just for the sake of humanity. But at the same time, everything that he has been doing has further stuff even though he's also making like he's doing like something for California. I heard some deep tunnels, making an actual subway that's livable, even if workable, even if they have earthquakes to fix California's transportation issues. That, from what I've heard from everybody in California, is the fucking worst. So
But
he does do good things.
well, for him, Elon is number one, and that goes back to things I've said earlier. I think everybody's egotistical at heart. You do everything you want for your own benefit, in whatever way you think that is correct. You give something to a good cause. You do that because you think it's important, and I think it's the same for our boy Elon. Is of course he wants to be the dude that like normalizes space travel and saves the human race, but he does that all for his own benefit, and I think
Yeah,
there's
but it
nothing wrong
also
with that.
benefits us.
Yeah,
Exactly. If it also benefits us, yo, make yourself the first quadrillionaire
For
because you
real.
got us into Mars. But if it means that we could go to Mars and have a fresh start, then cool.
yeah.
Bro, he's doing everything to get us to Mars and colonize that bitch. Listen, if you want to get yourself something, fancy along the way, go ahead and do it. If we manage to colonize Mars because of Elon Musk, I can't hate on the man if he wants to,
Hmm.
be cool
Even
for
if
it.
he does it
It
for
doesn't
himself,
matter.
that's fine. But
But you know, us
I'm not
as
saying
humans,
he's the Messiah, as some people would say,
No,
but
no.
he
there's
is.
gonna be some new type of racism once people are in Mars. There's gonna be the Mars people versus the Earth people.
I can't
Like,
wait. I
nah,
can't
these
wait to
people.
hate on
Ah,
Mars people. Let's go.
hey, my faction war. Ah, you see, we're getting
Full
there.
circle.
This We're gonna call them space noids, and we're gonna be called Earth noids. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
I'm actually the last book I was reading before I got flustered with reading in college. It's called Artemis, and but it wasn't Mars, it's the moon. And they speak how people from Earth can visit people from the moon, but it can happen vice versa because your body grew up with
Hmm.
Oh
less
yeah.
gravity resistance. So if you go to Earth, the gravity would just fucking crush you. So it's only like people that are stuck on the moon, and then Earth treating it as a vacation. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the moon and watch everything because they can adapt to it,
Right.
other than the other way around.
I
You
can't
imagine that
wait to
shit? People
fucking
wear.
dunk on those mooners. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Those Marsers,
Look at
don't
this.
get me started.
Stardust. Look at that dude.
The fuck, dude? Your fucking planet is all fucking red and brown. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is wrong
Loser.
with that? You have no green, no
What?
grass.
What the fuck is a river?
And then
Wh-
there's gonna be the whole thing like, yo, you ever smoked this weed from Mars, dude? It's on another level.
Dude, it's so. Dude, Mars is so fucking hot. The weed there it's like fucking supercharged. Holy shit. But fuck the
Crack must
people
be
that live there,
crazy
though.
up in Mars.
Oh shit. All right. As good degenerates and not occult members, we are um, like we are encouraging hatred, but only if it's from another planet. Except for the
Exactly.
planet Brazil, obviously. We all know Brazil is a planet, and we are very close to the planet Brazil in this podcast.
Please don't hate Brazil. The Brazilian already does that a lot. But you don't need more people hating.
I mean,
Brazil.
I'd say hate Brazil, not geographically, and don't hate the people, but hate Brazil anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Can I,
you
Hate the
can.
is that
government.
correct?
Hate the
Yeah,
power. Hate the
yeah.
power.
Yeah.
Hate
We're all,
the politicians.
we're all punk as
So
fuck here.
please send me an email asking for all the possible hates that we allow here. So I send it to you, and you can hate
Yeah.
specific parts of Brazil
Yeah.
without
There's
having
regulations.
weight on your
There's fucking
conscience.
rules.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have
come
a
on.
question, Vin.
Yeah.
So, we've been planning this for years, and hopefully it comes to fruition of me going to Brazil in 2023.
yeah.
Who's the first person I need to flip my finger off to once I get out the airport? I need to know how to hate accurately.
The White House.
So,
Um,
so I get out the airport. Who's the first person? I'm like, yo, fuck you.
Probably me because I'll be there. But
Okay.
then, but I mean, it's probably gonna be in São Paulo, so it's kind of a safe place. But if you're getting down on Rio, you can choose whatever you want to.
Yeah, but also like
It's
probably
like
police or
tradition to
something,
hate
right?
people from Rio. Huh?
Police or something, right? The first
Yeah,
police
police, of
officer you
course. I
see?
mean, if you see one, if you actually see a police car, you can flip a finger on them. Yeah.
All right.
Can I as an American, or would I go get thrown into like jail in Rio?
How many money do
I don't
you
know.
have?
Yeah,
Can I?
the thing in Rio is if you're going, it depends on where you are, and I mean, by your looks, it's possible that the police there will hit you before they ask you where you're from. I mean, it's
Hmm.
just protocol, right? But yeah,
And as
as soon as they
usually,
learn you're from the
as
U.S.,
usual,
maybe
I'll
they
be
can take
safe,
some money
right?
from you. Yeah.
So the only person here that has the liberty to flip people off is degradation, because
Let's
they'll know
go.
Oh,
immediately,
for
like,
yeah,
oh, he's not from
dude,
here.
I am,
degradation in Leblon, Rio, dude. You can walk naked. You can do whatever
and
the
I'll
fuck
do
you
it.
want. The only thing that's gonna happen to you is that if you get a cab or something like that, the guys will spot that you're not from here instantly and gonna charge you like 300% more. That's also protocol. But I mean,
But that's
in
still only 20 cents for me,
concerning
so it's all right.
yeah, and concern to police, I mean, police won't even look at you, dude. You can straight up rob a guy in front of the police and tell that this guy was robbing you, and the guy will have to pay you for something that you
I'm
stole.
writing all of this shit down. This is gonna be a
Yeah,
great vacation. I'm looking forward
By the
to it.
way, same thing with DR. You go in there, you look like Dej. Like, are you
Let's
dude.
driving
go.
without
Let's
a
go.
license? Hey, I'm not from here. I didn't know that was a thing that you people use license.
License. What are you? What kind of backwards country is this with your driver's licenses? We just chip
Yeah.
everything, bitch. All right, we've
Is
got
there
a.
Indeed.
parallel parking in Brazil and the Netherlands?
Sorry,
Or
what?
is that not a thing? Parallel parking.
No, that's
What
illegal
is
here.
parallel parking?
Parallel
Parking next to
parking
a
is when
different
you're
car.
all the yeah, all in the same line in the same way, looking at the same direction. Because for us in DR, there's no such thing as parallel parking. You could park going the wrong way. You go
Oh, I
boom,
see.
doing whatever you want. Like,
I mean, it's like everything in Brazil. There's a law for that, but nobody respects the fucking same thing. So if you want to park your car in front of the walking thing, blocking all the people from crossing the street. Fuck that, dude. You own a car. The bigger your car are, the bigger your rights are. So if you have like an SUV, fuck everyone, dude. The only thing that can top you is a fucking truck.
In short,
so he-
Brazil
yeah.
is the true paradise on earth. As long as
Here's the
you
thing.
have
Here's the thing. I
a
don't
lot of
get it.
money in an SUV.
Vince says that Vince sent something this morning, right, in Degradation's channel that puts
Oh
all the
shit, that
countries
can't be good.
in order, like of
Yeah, from
like
law
corruption and
stream.
all that, right? Homie, you're 60. We're 91.
Dude,
We're
you
worse
need
than
you
you.
need to see the actual numbers. You guys are like 0.45. We're like 0.52,
There's
something
just a
like that. We're
lot
not
of
Yeah.
that
So
countries
we're not
that do
that far
shit at that.
apart.
oh,
Yeah.
so I was like, holy shit! But I think Brazil's doing way better than we are over there.
We're
But
we
doing
have
better. Yeah, we're doing
but to add
better.
to Retro's comment earlier, we have rules now. Again, we have the rules in place. Now, is it that they're gonna enforce it? No.
no.
At
Do
least
we
here.
do now at midnight? Do we stop at red lights at midnight? No.
Never.
You're gonna get if you're crossing the street at midnight, you thinking I'm gonna stop? You
You're
must be out your
crazy.
damn mind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you with me, and you're never gonna find me because I'm not stopping to get robbed. No, I'm gonna keep on fucking going. What are you doing at 12 at night crossing a fucking highway? Driving.
There's Iggy said
All of
something
this
on
is
chat
fucking
that
insane for me.
basically Brazil and the DR are the same country. Not only the same country. Back then, when I was using Twitter, I was speaking to a retro a lot about the DR thing, and I ended up getting on DR Twitter, and I
I'm
felt
sorry
home.
about that. I'm
I
so
felt
sorry about
home. It was the same thing as reading the Brazilian Twitter. The same thing. The same thing. Even the political memes, dude. There was like the guys made some sort of certificate to give as the most corrupt government to the guys in the DR. Like the opposition party. And I was like, dude, this is exactly the same thing that's happening here in Brazil. The same fucking thing,
There
dude.
should be some
Right.
kind of award for it. I think your both of your countries should have some kind of Hunger Games style
Dude.
thing.
If
And
I
and
was if I was the president of Brazil, I would be calling the president of DR right now and saying, "Dude, we need to create something like the Europe Union, but the Dominican Brazilian Union. Like
Oh
we
no.
Dude,
exchange
I've been
everything
thinking
for
we can
free,
do
dude.
worse. We can do
we
worse.
went
Come
there
on.
so fast.
90% of the Dominicans' mission in life is to get out the fucking island.
Uh,
So if you do that, Brazil will
That's
just
the
turn
biggest joke.
Dominican.
That's the
Yeah.
biggest joke. They would get out of the fucking
And
island,
then
and they will be in the fucking island still.
bro, yo, we would trade. Yo, no lie, we would trade Brazilians to the island, and then we go down to South America. Bro, next thing you know, we're claiming that every cuisine that you guys invented down there, we made it better.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's how we do. Dominicans, we do this a lot. We take something that somebody else did, we find a way to supposedly make it better, and we claim it. We are natural conquerors, okay? Just letting you
No
know.
problem, dude.
Watch
No
out
You
with
problem.
that
just
tree.
can't
We're
get
gonna
off the
rob you
island. That's
and
the only
conquer you.
problem. You
Bro,
can't
there's
get
a lot
This is
off.
of
why we're on the
incentives,
island.
dude.
This is why we're on the island. We're not meant to be next to somebody.
All right, guys.
I'll put, hold on. I'll do an example of what Chris
There's
just
too
said.
much passion here.
Sushi came like around the 2000s to
Mm.
DR. It got populated, right? Immediately, about a month later, they were making sushi out of plátanos. And they were
We have to.
also frying sushi. I'm
Dude,
like,
let's
what?
give
That's
me a hug. We've been doing the same thing. There's no limits for Brazilian culinary. Let's
Oh.
go, man. Let's make this happen.
Car
Oh,
tire
this-
sushi. Let's go.
We transform because Brazil is BR and Dominican Republic is DR. We make BDR, DBR, whatever, dude. Let's just make this happen.
I
Like,
have. With
If
two
this happens, it
unbelievable
happened on this
objects collide.
podcast,
What happened?
everyone. It
yeah.
happened here.
the Brazilian Republic.
All
The
right,
Dominican
Yo.
Brazilian Republic.
I'm blowing the
What was
whistle
saying,
now.
degradation?
All
Uh,
right,
What
yeah.
was the saying before?
We're gonna change subject. This is the change subject whistle.
Yo,
Because-
that ref needs some vitamins.
I do. Yeah,
What?
I really do. I'm too white. I need some vitamins.
I don't trust fucking Dej because ever since he went to Italy, he said he stopped going outside. But every fucking podcast episode, he's turning more brown and brown. I don't know if it's influence from hanging out with us, but he keeps getting more tanned and more tanned every fucking stream.
I'm gonna
And
be
he's
honest with you. I
not
went
going
outside today.
outside.
I went outside today. So also I've been drinking. So I get red when I drink. So I always look tan, but I'm just a pussy.
Actually,
that's
I'm
all
gonna
that's going
get me a beer. Just hold that thought for 30
I
seconds.
want so much
30
alcohol in my
seconds.
Yeah, let's talk about
Eh.
Dej's looks for that time.
Oh my
Are
God.
you? I don't think you get rosy chicks from drinking. I think you just blush around us. Be honest with the podcast. You don't have to
Honestly,
tell
every
people,
time-
Oh no, this is drinking. Just say that you're blushing because Crazy's here and he's a sexy man.
You're not giving me time to defend myself, and I just want to call you out on that. But it is every time. Like I was fine before Craze got in, when Craze didn't move, but as soon as the color returned to him and he started moving, I've just my nipples have been hard the entire time. I'm gonna be honest here.
Are they sensitive right now?
Very sensitive.
Are they
Like
sheep?
I'm wearing a pretty soft T-shirt, but it's like it's tingling me enough that it's hard wearing a T-shirt at all at this point.
I told you you gotta cut the nipple holes out. You gotta make nipple holes. You gotta make sure because around me.
I know you said that to
Bro.
me earlier, and I probably really need to do that at that point. All right, Finn's back.
Hello. What happened? What happened?
Nothing. Anyway, Reinhardt
I
Main
just
in
did-
chat is saying, what countries in the world would you really like to travel to? I'm going to limit this to one per person, and I'm going to start with Craze. What's like the top of your bucket list outside of America for you?
Japan.
Sorry? Japan.
Japan.
Oh, that was
It
so
is.
shocking. Such a shocking reveal. Why?
It's gotta be, man. I really want to learn more. I want to learn more. It's like because what the exposure I have to the culture from there, from friends that actually left to live out there and do their careers, and I've been able to speak to them and share with them. Like I just need to have that experience. Like the culture is embedded in me one way or another. I feel like I was supposed to be born out there. I just gotta go out there and experience it for myself to kind of cement it. Not just because of the anime stuff or the architecture. 'Cause I'm a huge fan of the art. I'm a huge fan about
Right.
all the like their ways of buildings like that. It just
Don't go
I
to
don't know, I just
Tokyo
fell in
then,
love
though.
with that.
Go outside of Tokyo.
That's the one thing. I'll go to Tokyo just for the experience, but I want to go out because I never go to the place where they tell you is the main attraction. Always go to the places outside that are more local.
Preach.
I feel that's why I would
Preach.
like to. I
Very
like
true.
to travel.
All right. I think that's a popular opinion. Everybody wants to visit Japan, right? If you're in chat right now, you're a weeb like us. Come on. I went to Japan a couple of times now, and like anime was the gateway drug for me, but I stayed for like how different the culture was. You want something very different, and that's what they got there. How about you, Retro?
Damn, it's like the same answer, but
God damn
like,
it.
so I'll choose a different one. I want to go to the catacombs in France just because that shit looks
Oh,
dope, and I want to be able to photograph it
interesting.
myself. But everywhere I travel, my thing is to look for the street food. I don't know if you've seen this show on Netflix. I think it's called Street Food, just like that. And
Ah,
what they document is different street food from different countries. And that's my shit. Like in DR, the only thing I miss is like the nighttime street food from like food trucks and like food carts and whatnot. So when I go to Brazil, that's the thing I want to do too. Hey, take me to the food trucks, man. I know that's the
Count on me, my
right.
real
dad. Count on me.
cuisine.
Dude, you need to visit Malaysia. The street food there is. Malaysia is situated right in between India and China and some other countries like that. So there's a lot of and Malaysian food itself is interesting as well, and they just have this perfect culture of all this dirt cheap, fucking delicious food. It would be perfect for you.
Is it
I'll
true they
keep
eat
that
with their
in mind.
hands? Is it true
Yeah,
that it's the only thing with
traditionally
their
they
hands?
eat with their hands in Malaysia, but like Malaysia is like 50% Chinese people, and they just eat with sticks like all other Chinese people. But like Malaysians, the Bahasa, they eat with their hands usually. I've eaten with my hands there. It was a very weird experience. It was the actual first time I ate rice with my hands. You get a little leaf, and you eat the leaf as well, and chicken. There's sauce everywhere. I was a fucking mess. It was liberating.
That's that's what I want. Fucking.
All right.
All
Yeah,
right,
I
Vin.
want to try that.
I'm
Yeah, come
sorry,
with me. Come
Dad.
with me.
I know you said only one country,
God
but
fucking damn it. This
I
shit.
mean, out of
I'm
sheer
trying to
curi-
control us, man. We
out
got
of sheer
3
curiosity,
hours left to go.
Singapore. But because I don't
Really?
know nothing about there, and you always sound like a very futuristic place for me to visit, very different. So I would like to see that. But for real, like I mean, one thing that I always wanted ever since I was a child is either Mozambique or Angola because that's where my family roots are,
Oh,
and I really
really?
wanted to know more about that. I
Should be
really
very interesting to visit too.
Yeah, I used to have a teacher from Mozambique, and he was the most energetic guy ever, And
Damn, the gamer in me when you said Mozambique just went to Apex Legends. Like, oh, that's a shitty shotgun. All right.
but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of buildings. I'm really I have like a weakness for buildings. I like to see how people construct different houses. When I was talking to you, Dag, about Netherlands back in the day, watching the Google Maps thing,
Right?
the only thing that the first thing that I notice is how people build like the streets and the houses, and that's one thing that I really like about the diversity that you see in Africa and different countries in Africa, and how they, if you go to Cape, everything's like very colorful, and if you move a little bit north, it's different. It's just different. I would
Right.
like to see that.
That is
Ah,
actually pretty interesting. Like, yeah, seeing everything. Even when I came here, since I lived in DR for so long, and the houses are made of cinder blocks, I always wondered, coming back to the States, like, yo, why are all houses here made out of wood? But they did explain, a friend of ours that's an engineer explained it's because of the isolation. Like, if you make your house out of cinder blocks, you will freeze to fucking death here in the Northeast. It has to be out of wood, so
oh,
you
that
could
makes sense then.
heat it up and whatnot. Yeah.
That's true. I never thought about the installation port.
Mm-hmm.
Right. As for me, I have a very boring answer, I think. First of all, I want to visit everywhere, just like every other white person. But I've got a couple of main ones. Like for the more interesting
Oh, so you
option.
could break your rules, but
Yeah,
you
I'm
was
the
fighting
fucking
Vin.
lord and master here, goddamn. No,
Okay, Master.
Finn with his Mozambique got me thinking, and I would like to visit some coffee countries like Ethiopia or stuff like that, just to sniff in the coffee culture. That's the most interesting answer. But in truth, like the top of my bucket list right now is the States, because I'm basic as
What
fuck.
part of the States? What part of the state?
Honestly, all of it, but mostly the parts where craft beer is real big. So I'm thinking either California or New York. And for nature, I would like to visit Portland. I know these are all like completely different countries.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna tell you. You come into the
Yeah.
States, each state is a different country. Like
Right, yeah.
Rhode Island and New York are not the same.
So the first,
Oregon is great for you. You would fit in so well in Oregon.
I know I'm a fucking hipster, and so are all of the people there. So my original plan was starting in California and doing like a month-long trip, starting from I think San Diego all the way up the coast until I reach Oregon, or maybe even cross over to Canada. Fuck it. And that's what I like about the States. The idea is that there's a lot of variation there and a lot of
Yeah, but that's our perspective on your country as well. Like you could basically get on a bullet train or one of those trains, and boom, you're in Europe. You take another train, hey, I'm in France, another train. Like you could go to countries in trains. Like we
This
do
is true, yeah.
trains,
But you
state
don't
to
have like the
state.
restrictions we have of having to hop a country border. You just
Yeah.
you just drive direction. That's fine. Here, that's possible, but slightly more complicated. Like from my place, you could and I think like I drove for 12 hours. If I go in the right direction, I can cross at least 7 country borders probably. But that's just your states basically, and that's why I
And how
like.
does that work? Like when you're at the country border, there's like a stop, and they ask for your identification, or how does that
No,
work?
no, no,
Once you're
there's not.
crossing?
So that's
Okay.
it used to be like that until we became a union, and now it's just like COVID is obviously made it a little bit
Shit up,
different,
yeah.
but still it's similar. It's you just drive a direction, you don't get stopped, you just go, and if
My father actually he had this yearly trip that he would go out to Europe. He would start in Spain and then he would travel all the way across Russia. But he wouldn't. It would not. It was like
Jesus,
this big convoy of people. So, but it was like a 2 week trip, and you would start at one end, and then
I
you
was
would
about to
end
say
up
that's a
at the
long
border of
distance
Russia.
though.
Yeah, now yeah, you did. They just make a lot of stops in between, but it's always Spain going towards Russia. They never go into Russia. They just stop there and they just circle back, and then there's like this apparent cruise
Should be a
ship that
great
goes
trip.
on these rivers. It's weird. Is it true? You guys have cruise ships that go like in rivers between like in
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
like in
yeah,
these
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Mhm.
But also
It's funny. Nobody
mostly sea
mentioned
though.
Russia. Do people on your side of the
Oh,
world
dude,
see
I would love to
Russia
visit Russia.
how
Oh
we
yeah.
see Russia, like as the bad guys, or do you guys see them as normal people?
I think it's for you. It's worse than for us, but to the entire world, it's plain to see that Russia is a little bit of a fucky country in general.
They died. They died.
But
I want to speak to a Russian
That
person so he can teach me how to tame a bear and have it as a pet. Because apparently everybody in Russia has a bear
yeah, of
that they
course.
just chill with.
No, but I've had some. I've met some very lovely people from Russia. My brother has visited Russia for work a couple of times, and I would personally love to visit Moscow as well as which is not Russia, but the Chernobyl power plant is one of my main bucket list items. But that's in Ukraine. It used to be Russia, but or the
Remember when some popular YouTubers were saying that Chernobyl doesn't exist and they were heading there to film themselves inside of Chernobyl? I'm like, what? I'm like, that's
yeah,
worse than the fucking flat Earth theory.
that's worse.
Nobody
Yeah,
was there for a
you
fucking
can
reason.
literally just go there and see that it actually did happen. It's silly. But my brother, I can use his experience. He said Moscow was fucking beautiful. It was great. The people there, all very dour, very depressed. Everything's gray. Everybody's sad and alcoholic. And the general vibe there, and this wasn't my experience because I've never been there, but he said it's because he was very excited about it. Just like me, he was very excited about Russian culture, and he came there and he said, I left depressed. Everybody was so fucking depressed. But that's I'd still like to visit because I don't believe him. I don't believe anything until I see it myself.
I don't believe me.
Oh, so you don't believe us about DR in Brazil, huh?
Correct. Yeah.
You just think
No,
we
I'm
all
gonna go
lie.
there.
You never seen me. You only see my video projection. You don't know if I exist for real.
Exactly. I don't believe any of you exist. For all I know,
That's
I'm just
good.
in my room talking to my screen. Apparently, there's 14 people looking at me now, probably laughing, because I'm talking into an empty void. But that's
Just
fine,
picture
you know.
them naked. Just picture them naked.
But
Yeah.
isn't this like the same
I
concept
am.
of what we think about lean?
Yeah, that's what to say. Everything about you is imaginary. Your Twitch.
You are just
your
all
podcast host.
projections inside of my head, and now you're
you're
overstepping
actually in a
boundaries. I'm
coma.
not listening anymore. Yeah.
You're in a coma.
Actually,
Yeah,
you've
Sometimes
died
he
years
says-
ago. I need to let you go.
Wake
I'm
up,
eating
Sometimes-
man.
Twizzler. I'm eating a carrot stick.
To the later listeners, sometimes he says like, "Oh, Lean brought me food," and then he leans forward and just takes food from the table next to him and says, "No, it was Lean."
Dude, this is totally real. I would never lie to you guys. Come on, man.
Not
All
even a finger of Lean has shown up on the stream. That's weird.
Guys, come on.
Yeah.
I'm
This
sad.
one time I hired an actress and she totally showed her finger. You're giving incorrect information right now. All right, I wanna give us one last topic before we end the stream, and
Ooh, a good one.
it's gonna be a very shit one.
Don't do that one. Do the other one.
Which horror villain would you like to see in a game? And that's a subject by Finn. Finn, could you give us some context here?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight lately,
Thank you.
and
Vin.
it feels like you're playing. I've been a horror addict ever since I lost my fear of getting scared. So and especially monster horror is something we need more. And I was
Oh
playing
yeah.
that, and it feels like a walk in the park. It would be like, oh damn, so this is how I would behave if I was facing Freddy Krueger. I would die in 3 minutes. All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see all these creatures there. The ghost face, the guy from the Michael Myers.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
I,
Michael
I I
Myers.
was wondering what people think if they need to put like a villain there to fight against or be that villain. What would you choose? Which monster would you choose? Which thing you
Personally,
would choose to be? Yeah.
I have one after that.
I like if I we're talking specifically about Dead by Daylight at this point, right?
I mean, yeah, you can talk about it, but
Or-
yeah, let's make it easier.
Right. And I would be a survivor at that point, and I would need to battle with this renowned horror villain.
Yeah.
I would choose the fucking Humpty Dumpty from was it Alice in Wonderland, because I don't want to die.
Well, what will be his powers, to fall on top of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even feel it. Let's go.
Oh, you over?
And then you're just all sticky with egg yolk and you're
But if we're talking about something I would think would be really cool to see in a game like that,
Yeah.
I'd like to propose something unorthodox, not like a classic horror villain, but do you guys remember Cell from Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was fucking terrified of that dude at that point. It was never a horror anime. It was never even
The first stage.
the first stage. It was super spooky. I was pretty young, I think, but I remember feeling that Cell as a concept was very scary. He absorbed people, left entire ghost towns. I think that would be a very
That tail that he
yeah
sticks on people and drain their life force.
sucks him dry. And he was like all powerful too. I thought that was always a very scary character until the later stages where it just became more of a classic Dragon Ball Z villain. But stick that in Dead by Daylight. Fuck it. Not one of the classic horror dudes, but one that made us as children poop our pants anyway. I would love to see that.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting.
To me, it would be Pinhead for people that remember
He's
Pinhead.
releasing
Oh,
now.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, hell
releasing
yeah,
now.
Hellraiser.
are you
Oh,
fucking
word?
kidding
I
me?
didn't know.
Yeah,
Really,
Yeah,
really.
I
And
didn't know.
it's fucking interesting because you crack the puzzle and he comes to you and he says, "You cracked the puzzle. I came." And I was always thinking, uh, Hellraiser was all about the sexual thing. So when he says "I came," it feels like a lot like he's coming in his pants, you know?
Yeah. So
I
for
didn't know
those of you
that.
that
So
don't
what?
know, Hellraiser is like I think there's 13 movies out of that or something. Oh,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
fucking lot anyway, and they're all based on books by Clive Barker.
Yeah.
And the main villain, or not even the main villain, the guy,
Just the ambience, right? In the
yeah,
first book, the Cenobites are not even like important
no, and
to you.
it's just a dude with all kinds of nails sticking out of his head, symmetrically, basically. Imagine a bald dude with all kinds of nails sticking out of his head.
What's
A
that
collector guy.
movie? What's that movie where that's really creepy? Like where the dude had the eyeballs in his hands.
Oh, that was Pan's
The
Labyrinth,
Pan's
Pan's
right?
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
Yeah,
Pan's
Yeah.
Labyrinth.
Yeah, so that dude from then, since
Fucking
Pinhead is
cool.
coming, that dude from Pan's Labyrinth.
Fucking
Fawn,
Can't wait to
cool.
see.
not Faunch, but Fawn.
What about you, Craze? I know you don't really see a lot of horror, but is there one in mind that's not
That's the
already in the
thing,
game?
though. Like I used to watch horror movies. I just don't like horror games. Horror movies is one
Ah,
thing. That's
Oh,
why
okay. I didn't know that
if
about.
yeah, like I like the thrill of the movie. I just hate this the jump scares in the game. I just fucking hate it. But if I were to choose like how Dad said something comical about having Cell in it, but it made kind of sense. Is comically put Aku from Samurai Jack in the game.
Samurai
oh,
Jack.
Oh
Aku,
yeah,
the demon, put
yeah,
he
him
yeah,
in the
was
yeah.
game
kind
and
of
go from
scary,
there.
right? But
Yeah.
also, I
Like
was like, hey,
it was the powers that he had that were like it would make actually the game pretty dope. But if I had to pick one actual horror character, these aren't main horror villains you would be recognized, but I loved that this movie was really fucking good. Remember 13 Ghosts?
oh, dude, that
Yeah.
fucked with me when I was younger.
Exactly, that
All right,
13
was
To me, it
Ghosts.
was
explain the
boring.
yeah.
Like the
expl-
trailer was great, and the monster designs were great, but the movie sucked.
right
That's
for the
my
listeners
opinion.
It
that don't
was
know. Please explain the in short the premise
I'll
of the movie.
I
try
never
maybe the whole
saw
time.
this one. I want to see
So
it so bad now.
Oh,
So 13 Ghosts is
it's
basically
pretty good.
somebody invited people into this mansion, whatever, because that's how the premise of every horror movie was before.
Yes.
Um, and what he did was he was collecting spirits, like myths and these tales from across the world. And he was trapping them. I forgot how he did it, but he was like he was trapping them somehow, but then he was putting them in this home.
Yes.
And did he if he, like the visitor discovered that he had they believed the home he had like these cages with like the spells on like these very futuristic like cages, right? And
I
inside of
think it was
each
a
one
shifting
was a
mansion
ghost.
too, with all kinds of
Yeah,
shifting rooms.
yeah. And then he would release one ghost at a time into the home, and people would start to die, and it was like a survival kind of thing. But the concept behind every one of them is like saying the tale of the the um, the boyfriend and girlfriend of Highway 65, like those myths and tales. Like those were like, oh no, that's just bullshit. But it would be real. The ghosts would actually exist. He would go and capture them and use them to kill people in the house. It was the kind of like again. Richard did make a point. It was kind of weird as a movie, but the concept, I mean, it was fucking amazing. The designs. It's just
Yeah.
the girl with the box. That shit fucked me up.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It
dude.
felt like Silent Hill villain ghosts in that movie because Silent Hill has the best fucking horror art to
Design,
me
yeah.
in video
Preach,
games. Yeah.
preach.
I
All right, so
actually fought against the Pyramid Head on Dead by Daylight yesterday or the day
I have
before,
only
and
played
I
as Pyramid Head in Dead by
and I
Daylight
got my
personally,
ass handed to myself, dude. That guy fucked me up.
and
Dad, so
as he should.
you're the horror nerd. Why is it? And I was actually talking to this with Iggy
So is Vin,
yesterday
by the way.
about
But
ghosts and stuff. But why is it that fucking ghosts only like mansions? Like they can fucking haunt my poor ass apartment. Like what is this
Yeah, like
classes thing with ghosts? Like you only like luxury homes.
I think
it's
that's
a
an
drug
American
dealer.
thing too, but because you apparently have a lot of mansions in America, I every time I watch the series I watched most recently, Channel Zero. Uh, every season there's a whole different story, and it completely reboots every season basically. But then there's like this cute couple. They're just starting off. This one guy has a company where he fixes up people's home. She's doesn't have a job because she's a woman, obviously, very American. And they have this fucking house that is 10 times the size of my house. Every fucking season, all of these people have houses like they're wood, they're Victorian, they're fucking from the 1800s, beautiful shit, and they live in these fucking freestanding houses, and that's every American series for me.
Mhm.
I went on a fucking rant here, but
For media reasons, it's more interesting to have a lot of space so you can make chase scenes, you can
that
make
makes
like
sense. Yeah,
different ambiances. So it would be kind of boring. I mean, it would be refreshing to see, but
give me a ghost
it would
haunting in
need
the
to be,
shittiest, smallest
yeah.
apartment ever. Let's go.
Yes, but it would need to be very good executed, you know? It would be amazingly executed. So you would actually feel something like the sense of claustrophobia or something like that. But normally people go for mansions because there's a lot of space, so you can go like for a kitchen and something weird happens on the gigantic kitchen and that it's dark. So one light cannot light the entire room, you know? So stuff like
Hmm.
this makes good ambience in
And
the
All
also,
right, so let's take the New York City subway for example. Plenty of people have.
amazing.
let's go. Would be
Why
perfect.
isn't there a horror movie
It
of a
should
ghost
be,
hunting
especially
subways?
because
Oh,
subways are
dude,
fucking
careful
scary.
here because if you Google it, you're gonna find it probably.
Yeah.
You remember the Antichrist movie that came out in New York with Arnold
Mm.
Schwarzenegger?
Ah, yeah, true. They did one, but that was
Sorry, a
demons. That wasn't
spooky
even
movie
like
with
haunting.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. I want to see that. What the fuck?
It was just the devil himself. It wasn't like like a regular horror film. I don't know.
Hmm.
Like
It
to
was
Of
me,
it
it's
course, it's
was
gonna
different.
be an action movie.
Constantine is not horror. Constantine is just demons versus God. It's not
It's an
doesn't
action
constitute
movie.
as horror
It's
for
an
me.
action movie. Yeah,
Mhm.
it had some spooky parts, but Finn, you haven't given an answer yet. I think.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. And one thing that scares me a lot is drowning. So I would go for the creature of the Black Lagoon, which I think it's good monster design, very underrated from the classic era.
They should reboot
And
that shit.
yeah,
Speaking of
yeah,
nostalgia, let's go.
exactly. Reboot it and reboot it well, you know?
And then reboot it
And
again.
yeah, and reboot it and make it like in tiny patches. But the thing is, I feel like it would be amazing to see, to be drowned in a game, you know, to be scared of water. Few games
Ah.
try to do that. After nowadays, we're kind of stuck in the gory era, and we're forgetting about how nature can be very scary as well.
We have been since Saw, I feel like. Since Saw, we have been in the gory
Yeah,
era.
yeah.
What happened to Hostel? I kind of liked Hostel, the first one, more than the Saw movies, but I think they did two, and then they just
yeah, too
never
fucked
never
up.
came back.
Too fucked up.
I
Oh god.
think the market was saturated at that point, I think. Because it was the same movie as Saw, but slightly even worse, I think.
There's one thing that I want to point out, and I've been thinking about that, maybe even doing some research on papers. But I always wonder what makes us scared of the things we get scared. If you see, I was watching this silly YouTube channel called Cryptic TV, I think, and they have like some weird monsters there, and
Mhm.
it's always like a guy with scars on the face and no eyes. What makes us scared of things that look like that? You know, what makes
Pain.
us scared of things with no eyes, of things that are kind of visibly hurt, or creatures that have like big teeth. And I was talking to Danny about that, and I think most of our fears come from the rock age, you know, from the cave times where we would see creatures with big teeth and we'd be like, damn, this is dangerous for myself, you know?
Yeah. Is that?
I was watching a documentary on the Dead Space soundtrack thing,
Oh, I saw
and
that.
one of the things that they do is that those violins, the high pitch of the violin that makes us get anxious when things are happening kind of resembles us of when a baby's crying
Yeah,
or stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that, you
yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah.
So it triggers us a primal fear. That's fucking insane for me, dude.
Everybody listen to that soundtrack, Dead Space 2, and watch that documentary, and I will love you more.
That space was great until 3, and they fucking EA
Yeah,
turned it into a fucking action game. Fucking
EA
yeah.
does
stupid.
that. EA does that, and then they bury the franchise. Ah, that's a whole.
Yes.
But to
That's a whole
answer,
different conversation. I could talk for 5 hours over, on that one.
Oh,
to answer Vince's question, like to me, it's like let's say you don't have to go to the extreme, or if something is missing an eye. But for example, it's a person that lives in New York City, and in DR, you don't really see like the animals I saw in other than regular insects. I saw a scorpion once. It was inside my shoe.
Nice.
A snake, and I forgot what else I saw that was weird to me. You know, from a person living in New York. But let's say I moved to Pennsylvania in the bumfuck nowhere, right? Anything there will scare me just because I don't know if it's dangerous. So I
Aren't
go
you?
into the woods. I see, I don't know. Let's see, what was that fucking creature that can't get wet or they multiply? Gremlins?
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
All right, so let's see. I see a gremlin at first, right?
Mhm,
I
mhm.
will be scared unless a gremlin comes to me peacefully and lets me pet it. Then I'm like, okay, so gremlins are cool. But my immediate reaction is this shit is gonna bite me. It
That's
could
interesting coming
potentially kill me.
from basically Doctor Doolittle himself, that loves
No,
any
no,
kind of animal.
I love pets. It's pets
That's
because I joke
that.
like with animals, but I wouldn't have like an animal that's not supposed to be a pet as a pet, like a monkey.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that like
Like,
alludes to one of the primary fears. I think I'm not sure if I got this from H.P. Lovecraft or something else, but the fear of the unknown is 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 basically a primal fear. Death,
Yeah.
also a primal fear,
because you
but
don't know. You
it's
don't know
also the fear of
why.
the unknown. The dark, fear of the unknown. Something you don't know, spooky, fear of the unknown. Racism, fear of the unknown. It's
Yeah.
all things you don't understand, and I think that's a very powerful one, personally.
Retro's explanation
Damn.
about not being fearful of certain things, unless you know that they're good. Sounds like dating in New York.
Fear of the
How
unknown.
so, sir?
It's dangerous, right?
It's
Yeah.
dangerous, people. You don't know what you're gonna
I
get out
have
there.
good stories from my Tinder era, but I'll leave this to another podcast.
Yeah, we're about 3 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's say that this was a good podcast, a very chaotic podcast, but one where a lot of interesting, deep subjects have been talked about, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah.
Everybody, find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Castbox, Google Podcasts, wherever the fuck else you listen to podcasts. We'll be there, waiting for you, uh, blowing kisses your way until you arrive. Retro, yeah. Why not plug
To me,
yourself a
for
little bit?
now, RetroSugar.live. I'll be updating it sometime this week. I need to decide on whether I'm gonna stream 2 or 3 days a week. But yeah, like I said earlier, my schedule is clean at nighttime at least. I first need to put my ducks in order. Go to RetroSugar.live. The updated schedule will be there probably by tomorrow evening. And that's about it.
Spicy. Finn, how about yourself? Your
Uh,
good self.
don't don't watch The Man in the Dark. I think that's the name in English. A fucking shitty movie. I'll be here next Sunday, and that's it. You can check me on the Discord of Degradation and Craze as well.
Gotcha. We got
Right?
free plugs. All of us got free plugs, basically. Craze, how about you?
Also, since we're out here giving suggestions, don't drink warm water for fun. Um, no, I'm back. I'm back.
What?
I'm back on Twitch. I'm streaming 5 days a week now, Tuesday through Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and so on and so forth. Come through, have some fun, meet the rest of the community. You guys are great. They're amazing kids, amazing adults. Um, yeah, come through, man. It's all good. It's all good vibes. Hope you guys enjoy it, and thanks for swinging by on the podcast.
Hell yeah. So Craze is going super hard. very this past week, and he's gonna keep that up. I'm pretty sure. You can find me wherever you're listening right now. Whether it be twitch.tv/degradation with a 3 as the E, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, you're already listening to me. You're on the right track. All you need to do now is tickle that follow or subscribe button. Maybe even maybe toss a like if that's an option. All of the other things will come in due time. Just tickle it a little bit, and next week, like magic, both me, Retro, Craze, and Finn will all be back in your earballs and having a good time. Anyway, see you all next week here. Wherever you're listening right now, next week we'll be here again. We all love you very much. Not as much as we love ourselves, though. See you. Goodbye. Bye.
Oh, the movie's called Don't Breathe.